It's the Bennington Show in the middle of summer in February, 68 degrees in New York City. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I am Ron Bennington. You know, we're seem to have a theme going of music that sounds like it was from the 70s, but it's from the 2000s.
Yeah, that's like early aughts when it was just like, I don't know, there was like one summer or two in a row where it was just like really happy, fun, dancey music.
Probably because it was right after 9/11 and people are just like, what can we do to get our heads out of this? What are we supposed to do with our brains?
When I heard the song Happy, I was like, didn't we already do this with Junior Senior?
Didn't this already happen once? But everybody loves that guy in his stupid hat, so, you know, free pass. Free pass for the cool hat. All right, Bennington Show, we are live, and as I said, 68 degrees in February in New York at noon. It's odd. I mean, I want to celebrate it and feel like this is great, but there's just a weird vibe about this.
Yeah, I would be much more comfortable celebrating this in April or even late March. I would go,
my God, yeah, summer's coming.
But this is a little strange that we've had a couple in a row, like really hot days in mid to late February.
Yeah. I saw a cop today and he hung himself. I said, I wonder what he knows that we don't.
Is everything okay?
Cop knelt and kissed the feet of the priest. All right, Bennington Show, Friday. Everybody's blowing up over Trump today at CPAC. I'm just going to read the quote and then we'll move on. We don't have to dwell on it. All right, this is what he said. No matter what our color or the color of the blood we bleed, it's the same blood of great, great patriots. So we'll just leave it at that. There's no sense in dividing ourselves.
Does he think that the races have different colored blood?
I'm sure he probably heard a speech somewhere by the alt-right. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Chrissy is in a bad place today. You're having a bad agita.
I vomited earlier today from agita, from heartburn. It's disgusting.
Prevacet.
I'm going to buy the biggest bottle they'll sell me down Duane Reade today.
Just buy a regular one. You only do it once a day.
But, I want to, if you buy in bulk, you get a better deal, Ron.
Well, that seems like your business.
Well,
I mean, the deals that you're getting has nothing to do with this conversation.
First of all, you've never taken Prevacet before, and now you're acting like you need it in bulk.
Something's got to change here, man. I can't be vomiting in the morning, not from drinking.
He has lost control. I'm not going to dwell on this, and I'm certainly not judging you for it. But yesterday we were down in the courtyard having a smoke. Gail, a friend, lost her father, and Gail was talking to me about it, and it's obviously a terrible tragedy. And while we're having this discussion, Chris Stanley releases an atomic fart that echoed off the fucking walls in the Canyon of Heroes where we were talking. And I look over at him like, can't you? And he refused to change the expression on his face.
That was the part that really bothered me because here's the thing. He lets out this fart, which, by the way, I could see in my peripheral. He lifted a leg to do so.
See, I didn't know that.
And I am, the two of us just look at each other in shock and slowly turn towards him, expecting sheer embarrassment. Instead, we just get, what? And I don't want to be graphic and disgusting. Toilet humor is not my thing.
I know.
But it was a wet fart. Like, it was the sound of it.
I'm going to give you a term right now. I'm inventing as we're sitting here, and I think it'll help you. It was a marsh fart.
Oh, God.
A marsh, boggish fart.
It was so disgusting and one of the loudest. I cannot believe that came from your ass. It was so loud.
I didn't think you guys would have noticed.
We were just a foot away from you.
I didn't think you'd hear it.
Everyone in that courtyard could hear.
Yes.
The sound echoed. It really did.
I saw a couple of people have problems with their post-traumatic stress when it happened. One of them yelled out, "We're under attack."
I think the Prevacet's going to even all this out. Get rid of the gas?
I did not. I will admit, I did not see the lifting of the leg, but there's no possible way. I mean, from what I heard, he had to have his 2 feet up on something and push it.
Some stirrups.
You're serious.
I'm not sure if he
just said stirrups.
I'm not sure if he purposefully lifted his leg to push, or if it was just the blast. The sheer blast lifted the leg on its own.
We had slow motion to see the leg being fucking cast apart. You're lucky you didn't lose that leg.
And it could not have been a more serious conversation that we were having. It was in a very heavy emotional moment.
I know.
And we're discussing something heartbreaking. And he just rips it.
See, because you guys like took a moment, I guess, from the shock of actually hearing that and registering it. I thought you guys didn't hear it. So I was like, there was like 2 seconds to be like, all right, I got away with that.
Here's what you don't understand. This is what you don't understand. We love you. And to have a loved one do something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, it was like if I just turned around and saw you molesting someone. I would have been too shocking to immediately, act.
I mean, there has been so many shocking things since I've known you, Chris, but I honestly think this is a before and after. Like, there's no way for me to feel the same way I did yesterday about you.
Just from one
Maybe
fart.
he's just not well. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt.
Thank you, Ron.
And say that he's completely unwell.
There's something going on in my tummy.
I don't like when a grown man says tummy. I really don't.
He's trying to change the mood.
Let's lighten this thing up a little bit. So it's a little gas, that's all, at an inopportune time.
That was not little. There was nothing little about that occurrence.
6 people shouldn't have that much gas together.
It went on for longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, and then the echo came back.
This is terrible.
It was stunning.
But, my apologies, because of the conversation that was happening, but, I don't think it'll happen again.
I will, moments later, and I acted like I didn't know what was going on, but some people were coming over in Hurt Locker suits to try to make sure that the area was safe. Now, is that something that nagged at you last night, or you could just let go of it?
I let go of it.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely did.
Stephen Remick sent this picture of a guy basically sharding himself.
I actually had to ask. Like, I turned to you and I was like, did you just shit yourself?
I can confirm that I did not shit myself. Because that's happened before, obviously, with me.
Yeah,
but
probably this morning, 2 days ago.
It's kind of like a fun game sometimes. What's going to happen? It's a game I win often.
Oh, God.
All right, Christopher Begg said, I will defend a handmade sub made by a deli pro over a gas station sub all day, every day. I don't know what he's referring to.
The Wawa song, maybe?
No, but we didn't play that today. We played it yesterday. You'd have to come together with it. I don't know. Kyle just sent this thing of Chris drumming with a pencil in front of 2 beers.
A looped gif.
And then look at just the lack of life in his eyes.
What's wrong with him there? What kind of news did he just receive?
Well, hopefully this Prevacet will help you out.
I think it will. Gonna send Round the World Greg to get it after the show.
All right, here's what some people wrote to us. I heard that they scrambled F-16s out of Connecticut when Stanley farted like that. Vito isn't twin sick, is he? I hope he's okay. Did it smell like cucumbers and latex? North Korea should just hire Stanley to assassinate political enemies in airports. I don't think Xantrax treats Hep C. Hashtag Mr. Big. Hashtag crazy bitch. Hashtag all right. I didn't even get all these hashtags. All right, you've got, and we just put up people's phone numbers now instead of, I'll just say 612-270. I can't give out their whole phone number. Eric, what's happening, buddy?
Oh, I just going to tell Chris to get some baking soda. Forget the Prevacid. Half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a glass of water. Gets rid of it right now.
You want to try that, Chris?
I can give it a shot. I don't know if we have any baking soda, though.
It's like an old-fashioned bromo. Well, we're always baking up here. You know that.
Well, you go to Dwayne Reed and get some of that.
I like the fact you know Dwayne Reed. That's helpful.
Dwayne Reed was bought out by, like, Walgreens. I think they're going to start changing the names. This is going to be terrible.
Dude, you should be doing a gossip column.
Great.
You get so much info all the time.
Pharma Talk with Chris.
I'm worried about the chemical reaction of him consuming a teaspoon of baking soda. I don't know what will happen in his stomach.
I just imagine there's an old thing where alfalfa had a bromo and his whole stomach was filled up. You'd have to go back to the 1930s to see something that took place like this. All right, let's see. I don't even get some of these stories that are coming up. I know there's pictures that Jeff Bridges has done from the set of his movies. I've seen this over the years from time to time.
I had never seen this, and it's like really great black and white photography, all behind the scenes.
Well, I've seen him talk about it before. He uses this camera that goes very wide. Well, you know cameras, Vito. What am I talking about? When it is really wide, you get a much longer shot than you would get.
Like letterbox?
I think it's like
letterbox is for film, though, right?
Yeah,
I think it's like long exposure.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know.
not
No,
that.
this is like
It's just like a wide lens camera, but yeah.
But it's like very old camera. I think it's not like a newer camera. And he shoots always in black and white and always on his movie sets. And he's been doing this since like the 70s. It's fucking brilliant idea.
And I love how many, look at that great photograph of Maggie Gyllenhaal. That's such a beautiful.
Fantastic, yeah.
But so many of them are like old, almost like selfies, like him holding it, standing next to it.
Pre-internet selfies. It's a smart move to put yourself in the picture when you're the star, though, you know? And he couldn't have somebody else do it because it's his photography.
But I love, like, the Tron photos are great. Like, there's just so many cool shots.
Tron had to be like 1982.
Yeah.
That's how long he's been shooting. And apparently with the same camera. Always black and white.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's really, really pretty. And I'm surprised that, like, you haven't seen more actors do this because you're like, these are the best.
Because now I'd be like, oh, you fucking think you're Jeff Bridges, don't you? Because people would rather, just tweet it or something now. But this is...
He uses a panoramic wide lux film camera.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, that's
panoramic. That's the word I wanted. Look at one there of Jesus bowling, and you get like the whole lane.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. I love, there's like a really kind of eerie photograph of him on True Grit with like the hanging man behind him. And he's just like, it's kind of like, the shot is like looking up at his face. It's gorgeous.
Jeff, Arkansas.
Hey, Ron and Fez, what's going on, buddy?
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to confirm. I think you missed the point of Trump's statement there. Aliens are amongst us. People bleed different blood. Whoa.
I hope not. I mean, I'm ready to believe aliens are amongst us. I just saw a thing that there's more UFO sightings now than at any other time in history that people are claiming. Now, a lot of that must be because you can see so many satellites in the sky.
It's got to be satellites and then just drones, like people who have those like personal drones. Because I had that happen to me so recently, just like last week. I'm taking a walk in my neighborhood and I just hear this weird like zzz, like kind of far off, and I'm looking up and I'm seeing something, and it's evening, so it's very hard to tell distance. And I'm like, is that something big, really far away? Is that close? Until finally I see it moving, kind of with like helicopter like movements.
Yeah.
But like just shooting around really fast. And I'm walking my dog until finally like half a block up, I look and there's like a teenage kid controlling it. And I'm like, is that your drone up there? And he's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Come see. And I'm like, okay. So like I walk across the street and I come look, and the images that he's getting from this camera on this thing was so crisp, and it's a spy cam. I mean, it was perfect quality. And I'm looking at my neighborhood from above, him saying that he can take this up to a mile away. And he said, some people say they can even get it as much as 3 miles away.
I didn't know that it was that far that you could do that.
I mean, I was watching him, like, it was kind of above us. Then he just shot it forward, I would say, like, a quarter mile in, like, no time. It just, like, flew.
There's this great shot on the iBank today of these tigers chasing a drone around, and they finally catch up to it. But it's really fucking cool.
Yeah, they hunt that goddamn thing down. They're also fat tigers also. They're eating really well at this reserve.
Yeah, but that's not exactly the best thing. You know what I mean? Like, like a fat tiger is not a good thing to be.
Normally,
I haven't seen a fat tiger before.
Yeah. That is a really fat tiger.
But that may mean that they're not eating meat. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It may be just like... because there's not supposed to be fat tigers. In the wild, they don't eat until they're fat.
Holy shit, look at him pull that thing out of the sky.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. And just seeing them in the snow is so gorgeous. I don't think I ever saw tigers in the snow before.
And they're just pulling this thing apart. Now it's smoking. They've destroyed it.
And they're trying to figure it out. Like, is it edible?
One tiger just took off. Like, I don't trust this technology, guys.
He was smart
out.
to do so. Hey, Sean, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ronnie, the pictures you were talking about, are you talking about panoramic view?
It's exactly what I meant. Thank you so much.
And in response to Chris's farting yesterday, we've got sharks fired. We've got sharks fired.
Sharks fired. Hey, Tom, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Benningtons. You mentioned the Jeff Bridges photography. Matthew Modine at one time did a similar project on Full Metal Jacket. He did a book of photography and a journal that was released as Full Metal Jacket Diary.
I had him on the show, and we talked only about that for like 40 minutes. It was fucking amazing. The madness that took place. And like all he did, like he just was a young actor with a journal and went back years later and went, oh, this is kind of historic. I should put this together. But he put it out. It's kind of interactive and shit that you can do with it. It's pretty cool. And just, talking about Kubrick. And he and D'Onofrio, Kubrick had them where they were ready to fight each other,
Kubrick is like the director that's like pretty much his... Like being on his set has got to be the weirdest thing. Like
it was
those
over
are,
a year that
it's
he
like,
was there.
Yeah,
he lost 2 movies that he was supposed to do because he was sitting on that set.
Yeah, and wasn't his like the way he handled actors as well was always just kind of bizarre. It was just like it's like signing up for a weird social experiment. Every one of his films.
Yeah, because he wants to make something happen on screen. But yeah, if you go back and read this stuff, and I guess you can do it online because, like I said, it's interactive. It's pretty fucking cool. Let's see. People are saying, who has more gas, Chris or the balloon in Macy's, or the Snoopy balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
Come on.
Tell the Stone Cold Farter he has low stomach acid. He's got a loose tummy valve. He needs more acid to shut it. What kind of acid would you take?
Oh, like orange juice? I don't know.
Yeah, orange juice sounds perfect when you have
it sounds horrible.
agita.
Well, it depends because sometimes that's the weird thing is sometimes it's too much acid, sometimes it's too little. And I think that there's like a test you can do where it's like one is if you drink a glass of milk, if it makes it feel better, then it's too much acid. And then the other one is like if you take a tablespoon of vinegar, then it means you don't have enough acid if that calms your stomach. I think we need to set up a test for you.
If I drink a glass of milk right now, this room's going to blow up. I'm just going to let you know now.
You're in the other room today because you're worried about yourself?
Yeah.
You also have Jen in there. Should you send her in?
I would be more comfortable if she went to the other room.
And who's the intern?
Around the world, Greg.
Send Around the World Greg home.
No, Greg has to stay.
That's toxic gas.
I am responsible for the safety of these interns. I take that very, very seriously.
I need him to get that Prevacet for me. I guess
By the
baking
way,
soda?
Prevacet is a 1-a-day thing. You cannot be that's not how you do it. I know
it's not
that
a snack.
Every time you take something, you take it 10 times the amount you're supposed to. This is not that kind of thing.
Seems like I take it twice a day, just to make sure.
No,
it'll go in the wrong direction. It'll stop working. It'll fight itself.
Oh, my God.
Look, I have to lie to him just to...
And also, like, how he believes you. I say this. He goes, no. Then you say, you're like, yes, Daddy, I agree.
Well, he takes the Prevacid. I don't know, dude.
Chris, I will be your daddy. Don't worry about that. I will give you all the advice you need. And guess what?
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you right now. Very proud.
Thank you, Daddy.
He will be your father
really
figure.
That's really sick. I don't think, I know in gay porn, daddy is very big, you know? So that's why I'm not comfortable with you saying it.
All right, Daddy.
That's really weird.
He's a weird person, but you know what? He's sick today. Let's go easy on him.
Hurting.
All right, so here's the way. We can do a science experiment. This has been sent to us. Mix 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a 4 to 6 ounce of cold water first thing in the morning before eating or drinking anything. Drink that solution and time how long it takes you to belch. Time for up to 5 minutes. So this might be something for you to do first thing in the morning.
All right, I'll give it a shot, you know?
Anything that happens too late, we got to put you down.
Oh, jeez. I'm not going to do the test then.
Why don't I just...
it's for your own good.
Joel in Arizona. Joel.
Ronnie B.
Yeah.
So, Jeff Bridges, I love the dude. I love Big Lebowski, but his John Wayne character that he did, that R.I.P. movie with Ryan Reynolds, and the John Wayne character he did for the John Wayne movie, and the John Wayne character that he did for Hell or High Water, just ruins it for me.
Chris, keep him on the line as long as you can. I'll be able to trace this call. And I'll send police to pick him up immediately.
I'm on it, Daddy.
He could be sick.
All right, Chris, seriously, that bit's over.
We're done.
You know what I mean?
That.
It could have been fun if you did it every once in a while, but you had to beat it like you do everything else. I seriously, I can't sit around and talk to people who didn't like Hell or High Water. That's my movie of the year this year. My second favorite movie of this year, Pete Kelly's Blues from 1957, I believe.
You just rewatched it and you're like, this is the best movie of 2017.
My father always likes to say this my whole life. I haven't went to the movie theater since Pete Kelly's Blues. It's fine. I'll wait till it comes on TV. I'm fine with it. I go, yeah, this way you get it with commercials and any interesting dialogue fucking changed. But I've never heard another human say Pete Kelly's Blues. And he would bring it up out of nowhere. We'd just be driving along. I haven't been to a movie theater since Pete Kelly's Blues. You know, he also told me that when he was a kid in Pennsylvania, the black kids had to go to the balcony and the white kids watch downstairs on weekend movies.
Wow.
And that's in PA.
Yeah, I was going to say that surprises me.
Yeah.
I didn't think at that time they were doing that up north.
Also, when he was a little kid in Chester, Pennsylvania, he saw a giant Ku Klux Klan parade go through the city of Chester.
Wow.
For some reason, the North never has to take that heat, you know. But, you know, he was also hanging out with, you know, Bill the Butcher. So I don't know. I mean, it was a long time ago. And look, this is what I say. No matter what color we are or what color our blood is, we bleed the same color. Patriotic. Right? Right, everybody?
What?
Patriotic. Huh? And the lying media is trying to tell you that we don't. These lying scientists that make stuff up, too. And they're failing, folks. They're failing miserably. Sad.
It's really
They
sad.
are failing. Bob wants to help out Chris Stanley.
Hey, Ronnie. How you doing?
Yeah.
There's a product you can get at Whole Foods or any great health food store called kombucha. It's great for the stomach biome, and it'll cure all agitas. It'll
Kombucha.
regulate all the acid in your stomach.
Kombucha, my lord. Kombucha.
It's delicious too, Chris.
Oh, yeah, what's
And
it
it's
taste
good
like?
for you. Yeah, Trilogy, kombucha. Get that, Chris. Half a bottle a day, you'll be cured of everything.
Talking to me like that. He's such a weirdo, Chris.
Oh, you like him, though. We're all family here. One of us is just special. Here's Pit Doc. He'll help out.
Oh, so he's falling apart again, huh?
Yeah. Not a lot we can do about it.
Is he pissing himself too? Because that would be the trifecta. But the best thing for him is going to be for him to take Gas X. What he's got is too much gas in his system. That's why the farts are coming out too much. Is he burping too?
Are you burping, Chris?
Oh, I'm burping up a storm right now, Pit Doc.
Okay, well, yeah, look, a little baking soda couldn't hurt. It's not too much. But only take the Prevacid once a day, otherwise your calcium is going to drop. But take Gas X before each meal. Are you lactose intolerant?
It could be, Pit Doc.
I know one thing. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, Chris, but you didn't have this when you took that time not drinking.
That's good. That's a good point too.
Because you don't have anything but hard liquor for some reason.
Yeah.
Is there a softer liquor you could enjoy?
Drambuie? A liqueur?
Drambuie. That was a fucking long reach, dude.
Acid's not causing his gas, though. That's something else. So I think Gas X should cut down some of the gas bubbles and less sharding.
All right, thanks, sir. Take care. Pit Doc, everybody.
It's my doctor.
Yes, he is. Dr. Vinny Boombats. I just hope that you don't have, what's that fucking thing when you have the sore inside?
Ulcer. An ulcer.
Ulcer, yeah.
Oh, God. I hope I don't have one either. That's when you're bleeding on in the stomach.
Well, it's like you have a cold sore in your intestines or something.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I saw pictures of it. It's pretty disgusting. But they have stuff that cleans it up, like, immediately, like, as soon as you take this stuff. But I think you got to get a tube down the throat, one up the ass.
Oh.
Then they meet in between, tie it off like a jump rope.
They're going to DP me?
I think he needs a colonic.
Well, you give it to him.
I'll get a couple's colonic with him.
You want to go to couple's colonics?
Oh, I don't want to get a couple's colonic with a guy that looks like me.
We can get like tables where like our heads are like right up next to each other so we can chat, do small talk.
Not going to happen.
You're going to hold hands.
I'm sure there's couple's colonics on Groupon, Chris.
I'm not. All right, if I were to get a colonic.
Groupon is still around.
I'm not getting a Groupon colonic. I'm paying full price if I'm going to get a colonic, okay?
You don't trust it?
No.
Hey, grab the thing where, I don't know, Caitlyn Jenner is talking directly to the president. She made a videotape and sent it to the president. Jameis Winston said he had to say that he was sorry for being a sexist jerk in front of a bunch of kids. He told the little girls to sit down while he talked to little boys and said, "We are strong. We can do everything we want. Girls are nice and they have to be quiet."
It was a very uncomfortable moment. It's just like one of those things where you're just like, you know what? Maybe we don't need sports stars talking to kids. They'll do what they do best. And then you're like, isn't that great?
And then he was at the thing and he also grabbed a bunch of crab legs when he left. He said he needed that to make a little snack for himself later.
He loves crab legs.
I don't know why.
What was his excuse about that?
He forgot to pay, like everybody says when they're leaving the market. Like, oh, I thought I already paid for these crab legs. Really? Because you didn't see a cashier this whole time.
He's just walking out with armfuls of crab legs.
Here's the thing. He was accused of rape and then stealing crab legs, but I only call him crab legs. Every time he fucking throws a pick, I'm like, way to go, crab legs. All right. Now, Caitlyn Jenner is making this video for the world. Go ahead and play it.
I have a message for the trans kids of America. You're winning. I know it doesn't feel like it today or every day, but you're winning. Very soon we will win full freedom nationwide, and it's going to be with bipartisan support. You can help by checking out the National Center for Transgender Equality and letting Washington hear you loud and clear. Now I have a message for the bullies. You're sick. And because you're weak, you pick on kids, you pick on women or anyone else you think is vulnerable. Apparently, even becoming the Attorney General isn't enough to cure some people of their insecurities. As proof, the Supreme Court will soon hear a very important Title IX case, thanks to the courage of a very brave young man, Gavin Grimm. Mr. President, we'll see you in court. Finally, I have a message for President Trump from, well, one Republican to another. This is a disaster, and you can still fix it. You made a promise to protect the LGBTQ community. Call me.
So, Caitlyn is like, look, I don't care about brown people, and I certainly don't care about women.
Right.
But now the guy I voted for has done something that pisses me personally off. And you know what I hope? I hope this goes to the Supreme Court, but the guy that fucking Trump put up is the deciding vote.
I think it's so weird. Instead, it's just like, why doesn't she just go, why am I a Republican? If this is what they value, she's just like, I'm a Republican, but what I want is the Republican Party to be cool with my issue,
right,
not anyone else's issue. That they don't want you. They don't want you in that party.
First of all, she did this thing. It was like, you know, when I feed my hungry guys,
like my hungry guys.
Seriously, I got to make sure that they get all the vitamins they need. And that's why I give them a Prilosec every single morning. Stops the farting, sharting.
Like, it almost seems like she should have been mid-folding laundry and turned around like,
yeah.
I know that when I'm worried about trans kids.
First of all, to the bullies out there, I will fuck you up. I'm not playing games. Take a look at the 1976 Olympics. I fucking destroyed the world, okay? And I'll fucking destroy you next. I'll come over your house and beat your ass in front of your parents and fucking dare them to get inside. She is hilarious.
She's crazy. She really is.
Call me.
Okay.
All right. I was married to a Kardashian. Give me a call. She's out of her fucking mind.
I also, like, I don't know, like, maybe rewrite the opening where you say trans kids are winning right now.
We're winning.
It doesn't seem like it right now, dude.
I know it doesn't feel like it, but we're winning. Okay? And winning's the most important thing. Check 1976. Montreal. I fucking ran away with that. I had so many more points behind the number 2 person, who's fat now. I always saw her do that on the show, that she ran into that person, and he's fat, so still winning, she said.
Oh, God.
And you're like, well, the other person's 68. He's not running around in a fucking steeplechase every day.
She fat-shamed him?
Yeah,
yes.
She did. That's a fat shame.
Awful.
I make sure my hungry guys get all the fucking things they need. What is today? Today is a weird day. Let me look it up real quick. Let me see. Oh, it's Tortilla Chip Day. It's Tortilla Chip Day, everybody.
Oh
National Tortilla Chip Day. Now, in our family, it's about Tortilla Chip Eve. That's when we actually break out the chips.
Yeah.
Because the kids are so excited. Let them have the chips then. Next day, who cares?
Yeah, the next day, it's just like you're all chipped out, really.
Right. Normally, all the chips are gone, and we're just like, drink to salsa, because I'm not fucking, everyone drink to salsa. I don't want anything to go to waste. Caitlyn Jenner. Let's see what else is happening out there. YouTube cut the feed of a giraffe giving over sexual content. Sure, because we all get excited about seeing a baby giraffe.
They cut the feed, and like there were like millions of people watching this thing.
Who was behind this? Like, who was the person that was like
Jack
decided?
YouTube. Jack YouTube Jr. His father was Jack YouTube. He's fine. But your phone's blowing up.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on? Is there trouble in the mines?
No.
I got a screaming Amber Alert this morning out of the Bronx.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Screaming Amber Alert.
Same.
The last one from Staten Island, the dad had him. The dad was like, you know what? I thought would be fun to go to a batting cage. And everybody in the whole fucking area has to worry. Because they don't say, hey, the kid was just at the batting cage. You just get the Amber Alert and nothing else.
Yeah, you get a car, a description of a fucking car.
What can I do? Seriously. I know I didn't sign up for it. It just comes with the phone.
Yeah, I think there is a way to shut them off, but I feel a little guilty about doing that.
I used to get silver alerts. I don't anymore. And that was like an old guy went out for a drink and his kids couldn't follow him. Like, I can't worry about an adult going out and getting himself a goddamn cheeseburger and enjoying Tortilla Chip Day.
Get off Grandpa's back. He wants to enjoy himself.
That's a better way to put it. Thank you, Chris.
You know what? He just wants to get messed up right now.
Okay.
Cool.
Great. I'm always looking for that, come in behind me and just restate. That's my favorite thing. Oh, we got a new song for Creeps for Kids.
Yes.
Because we got to beat that Alec Baldwin. He's coming on strong. And we all know this was Robert Kelly's genius idea. Creeps with Kids. Let's hear the new spot.
There's a comedy show, Creeps with Kids. It's March 6th at 8 p.m., Creeps with Kids. At the Village Underground, Creeps with Kids. Get your tickets today. It's Robert Kelly Show, Creeps with Kids. Ron Bennington is hosting Creeps with Kids. Gail Bennington's a product of Creeps with Kids. Get your tickets today. Rich Voss and Keith Robinson are Creeps with Kids. Jessica Curson is on Creeps with Kids. And Neil Brennan is on Creeps with Kids. Get your tickets today. Monday, March 6th, it's Creeps with Kids. ComedyCellar.com, Creeps with Kids. KREEPS, Creeps with Kids. Get your tickets today.
Do you know that other than Voss, I didn't, and Kelly, I didn't know any of those other people had kids?
Oh, really?
I'm actually shocked with each one.
When I met Jessica Curson, she had her baby with her. That's why I knew.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I had no idea. The last time we did Robert Kelly's Creeps with Kids, it was so much fun. And I hope we come back. I can't wait to hear Voss talk parenting. I mean, seriously. And here's the funny thing. And I would love to tell you otherwise. I've met his kids, delightful. His two girls, gorgeous, polite, cool, terrific. I can't believe it. I can't believe Voss pulled this off.
Well, it was so funny because the last show, do you remember he was itching to get on?
I know. And Kelly wouldn't let him.
It was driving
It was
him
actually
insane.
driving me nuts because I can't stand to see someone wanting. And Kelly was giving me the nope. It's Bonnie's night. And his youngest daughter's terrific too. So this should be a really fun night. Love the underground. We haven't been there forever.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. And love doing Creeps with Kids. Now, at the same time, Alec Baldwin is doing Bad Parenting. Suddenly Kelly is up against it here.
You got to show your support.
Yeah, you got to. Look who it is. It's Mrs. Go-Go.
Hi.
Hi, darling.
Hi.
How are you guys?
So good. How are you?
Great. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Monday.
Oh, it should be fun. That's already sold out. That's the
Street Jokes, yeah.
But I had a remedy for Chris.
Great.
What I do for the baby is you got to lay them on their back, and then you got to bicycle their knees into their stomach. So maybe Vito can do that for him and work that gas out.
Maybe you do it every morning and then at the end of every show. Leave something behind for E-Rock.
We'll do it right there on the couch.
No, that's in my room. And I can't. I was near him outside yesterday. It was too much. I saw a star fall from the sky. I don't know what he did.
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't one of my prouder moments.
Yeah, I don't understand it. At the end of it, it sounded like he breathed in with his ass. Is that possible? Yes.
He's recycling it.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it is a matter of recycling. Okay, thanks, darling. See you Monday.
All right. Bye, guys.
I adore that woman.
She's great.
Yeah. Jeff, Buffalo.
Hey, Ron, I wanted to ask your advice being a former comedy club owner.
Okay, great.
So I'm going to see Big J this weekend. There's 4 different times. There's the 7:30 and the 10 o'clock on Friday and Saturday.
Well, first of all, and so you want to see the hottest crowd, right?
Yeah.
I would always say first show on a Saturday. And yet, Big
Isn't
J's
that the
going to kill all
couples show?
4 of these shows. Yeah. He's going to kill them all.
I can't wait.
Sometimes with Jay, it's really interesting is like the smaller the audience, the funnier it gets because it becomes like a really strange group therapy thing. Because
Less restrictions, probably. Yeah.
Yes, less restrictions that you get from society. But yeah, you're not going to see a bad Big J show. So here's what I would do.
Awesome.
Put all 4 of your choices on a dartboard. Shut your eyes. Throw the dart. And then enjoy that because that's the universe.
Or maybe I'll go to all 4 shows.
Dude, that would be the fucking smartest move for you. You know what I mean? And sit in the first row the whole time. All right, peace.
Thanks.
First row for all.
There was 2 shows at the Stand last night. So Joe List does the first show and then leaves. And it was about a 3/4 film room, right? And he comes back just in time for his set on the second show. And he goes up and he goes, he starts his act and he goes, wait, everybody's sitting in the same places that they were in the first show. Are you a new crowd or are you the same crowd? And he was so fucking honest about it. Just because I didn't want to do the same material if you were. But he just looked up at it. And because he hadn't been there all night, he goes, oh, did they just leave the crowd here from the first show? I never saw anyone do that before. He was so funny. And then he like, I see him after and he's like, I'm not crazy about my new material. And it was fucking great. But he isn't totally, committed to it yet, I guess. He doesn't have the precision that he does. But it was funny as shit.
I think it's a blast seeing a comic work out new stuff. It's
amazing.
Fun. Yeah.
It really is amazing. And List is unbelievable, man. He's just crazy funny. Those Stand shows are just great. Rich Lust. Let's go over here to Justin. Justin, PA.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to know if that degenerate fuck Chris Stanley had a pick for the Daytona 500 this Sunday.
500. Everybody fried turkey for the 500. Deep fried turkey.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. still racing these days?
You really don't follow NASCAR?
Don't follow NASCAR at all. Never got into it.
Is it because you don't have a license?
Pretty much. I mean, I can't really, I can ride a horse if I wanted to. They're not going to put me in the car.
Then why don't you be a Central Park cop?
I like that either. I can ride a horse if I want to. If I choose.
But I don't have to be forced into it, correct? Why don't we, we're going to be talking a little Oscar talk. Has anyone seen all the Oscar movies? I've seen some.
I have seen some, but not all. I'm going to try to watch as many.
Did you see La La?
I started it 3 songs in, and this never happens to me. Fell asleep.
Oh, man.
So.
Why are you upset? You liked
I wanted
it?
a friend I could talk to La La Land about.
I guess I'm not a friend because I saw it.
I didn't know you saw it.
Did you listen to the show yesterday? I did fucking 15 minutes on it.
I didn't. I don't know why I didn't think you saw it.
Why would
you don't pay attention to the show that you're on?
I loved La La Land. I didn't like the first song, like you said yesterday.
Oh my God!
Holy shit! Vito.
We got you in 10 lives.
Oh my God!
All right, why don't we break here for a second? We'll be right back, and we're going to be doing Oscar picks with Leslie. This is Bennington.
Bennington, Raw Dog Comedy, Sirius XM 99.
Hey guys, Bennington Show on a hot Friday in February. Literally a hot Friday in February. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
Vito Agacha's here. That's his nickname, Vito Agacha. He does all the punk stuff for us. Chris Stanley on keys and asshole.
That's right. I just had a problem in the bathroom. I'm not going to say anything else.
Just tell us.
Splatter.
Okay.
Oh
Dropped your whole ass, huh?
I did not expect it to happen either.
Okay.
Is that where you went running out of the booth?
Yes.
I saw him running down the hall, and I was like, this is not good.
Our man's falling apart on us.
Worried about you, big guy.
I'm gonna get that Prevacet, and I'm gonna work it all out.
Who were you just yelling at?
Greg was asking me something. I don't know. I was like, Greg, I'm on the air.
What did he ask? Find out now. I'm curious.
Find out.
Yeah. Me too. Why would you turn your mic off for that part?
All right. Greg was he was just taking a call. Jesus, I'm on the air.
Yes, but that's where we take the calls from.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you're in there. Are you sweating?
I'm sweating from the sickness.
Oh, God.
Leslie's coming in and, talking glamorous Oscars. That's what we are, a very glamorous show. Ready to talk to glamorous Oscars.
You guys don't realize this, but we all dressed up for this occasion.
Yes, I'm in a beautiful Gucci gown.
Plunging neckline. I didn't expect that from you.
Yeah, it was an accident. I just had to tear it. I couldn't breathe that good in it. I think I tore off my pearls when it happened. I get lent pearls from jewelry companies. I'm so glad that they'll give somebody like $3 million necklace.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm normally at home and I am like, hey, I got to have that necklace there. Who's she wearing? And I grab my $3 million and I go out and get that necklace immediately.
I'm not really sure how that works out for them, but I guess it does.
There's always somebody looking to buy a necklace, and if you see it on TV, it's well worth that $3 million. Who are you wearing? This might be the first time in my... You just missed Lenny walk by.
Who just walked by?
Lenny Kravitz.
What?
You've always faced the wrong way.
I know, but then I can't do the show like this. That would be uncomfortable.
Actually, I think it would work for you to be able to see Lenny Kravitz all the time.
I'm going to get... You know what I'll get? I'll just get a mirror that I hold up like this so I can still see you.
Either that or you can just do trick shooting. You know what I mean? It's always fun. Put up a mirror like, I'll shoot that apple off your head while I'm looking in a mirror. Do it without the mirror if you're such a good fucking shot. That's what I'll yell out. By the way, I was watching Trump talking today, and he's speaking in front of CPAC. It was pretty much like within the first 5 minutes, you hear someone yell, "You can do it!" And it really made me laugh because that thing never goes away. That "you can do it" never goes away. Still fun. Somebody also got chucked out of there for heckling or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Could you hear what it was? Or?
No, I can never tell when someone's heckling on TV. It never makes any sense to me. That's weird. We got two different shots. One, there's a flag behind him, and one, there's not. See that?
Fake news.
Fake news.
One of these.
Or maybe it's one of these fun things where you try to find the three things that are missing in a picture. You grabbing Leslie now, Chris?
Yes.
There's and then there's a flag on this side. It's different. That's really bizarre.
That's what I just said to you.
Like,
now it's on both.
Okay. Fake news. Something weird is going on. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah. Now all three have the same picture. It's very weird because he's not live right now. They're all kind of showing the same shots.
It's the Trump machine.
Yeah, we're making America great. That part is good. We're keeping the Mexicans out. That's good. We're making sure that the transgender kids have to pee their pants. That got up to the top of it. We pushed off the $1 trillion to rebuild the country. Kind of bummed about that.
I think the trans kids should just piss and shit in the hallway. If you wanted me to have a bathroom, you would have let me in. Now you guys are going to have to clean up this mess.
I'm glad somebody's coming down hard on those kids. I mean, they're so cocky with their whole new gender. You know what I mean? You know, it's so easy for them that we need the federal government to just take them down a peg. You know, because they're suddenly all feeling good about themselves because they can put on makeup now or aftershave, whatever, you know, however it all works themselves out.
Oh, I hate to see a kid with confidence.
I like that Kelly O'Donnell and her big red hair. You don't see a lot of really red-haired people on TV.
She's repping it.
Yeah.
They keep them away, I think.
Oh, I don't blame. Because they're hot-headed people. I mean, they're just always ready to headbutt. Can't stop them once they start.
Do you think that that's like a made-up thing? Because I've known so many fiery redheads in my life.
No, it's not made up. They also feel pain quicker and more intensely than other people.
Is that true?
It's 100% true.
Why is that?
I guess their translucent skin.
It's just like it's so sensitive.
Well, because I think they're part troglodyte or whatever the hell has them in that red. They're disappearing off the planet at an alarming rate. And no, I'm not counting people who then just decide to become redhead. I'm talking about the real deal. But they don't. They feel pain at a much higher level than non-reds.
That's a really bad feature to have.
Yeah. It is.
It's like not a positive one. Everything hurts me.
Chris, who do we got here?
We have Leslie Coffin coming in studio. Leslie Coffin's book, Hitchcock Stars, Alfred Hitchcock and the Hollywood Studio System, is available now in paperback on Amazon.com.
We're going to talk a little Oscar-winning movies. Let's do a hooray for Hollywood. Let's bring in Leslie. Here comes Leslie Coffin. Hi, Leslie.
How are you?
I'm glad to talk weak movies with you this year.
But unfortunately, it is that year of great movies.
You know what? Some years are good years, and then this decade hasn't been overly great. What are you looking for, Chris?
I'm letting Jen know to lift Leslie's mic up a little bit. That's all.
Okay.
Perfect.
You weren't talking into your mic correctly, and Chris was going crazy. He was like Coco the Gorilla in the other room from that Seinfeld. Hey, look at Coco.
Now, at this point, have you seen all the Best Picture nominees?
No, I haven't. I've seen I've seen some.
Yeah.
But I can't say that I've seen all. Now, it's because I reject Hollywood. They've really hurt my feelings over the last several years.
Although the thing is, the big movies do not get nominated, so
the big movies stink too, and I don't go to see them.
So I mean, you're kind of in this in between of Hollywood movies that are kind of indie movies. So, and you got to go even like a level down.
Here's what I
Inception
miss.
style.
Here's what I miss. I miss the '90s where I could tell people, "Oh no, you're missing the good movies." Okay, and then I would be able to give them a list of movies. I can't do that anymore.
Did you have a favorite movie this year?
I do.
Yeah.
And it is Hell or High Water.
Okay. I liked it. Did not love it.
Did not love it.
Did not love it.
Do you have a favorite movie this year?
I mean, my favorite movie was the movie nobody saw, and I don't think it even got like a true theatrical release, was The Program. Loved it. Thought it was hilarious.
Didn't say it.
It's satire.
Matter of fact, first I'm hearing about it.
I would call it the Lance Armstrong story through the guise of facing the crowd.
This is my problem. I am so bored and have a dislike for Lance Armstrong.
But he's such a jerk in the movie.
I know, but that's the thing. I've known that for a long time.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me OJ was a bad guy. I don't need to rewatch that. You know what I mean? I've seen
You will
these
hate
things.
him. You will hate him even more.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't possibly. I hated him when everything, nobody knew he was cheating. Like, I hate that guy. He's riding a bike. So what? I could do that when I was 9.
My second favorite movie was Microbe and Gasoline, Michel Gondry's movie.
I did not see it.
Oh my gosh, I loved it.
It was on regular TV, and I have to say, I put it on,
and
something came up, and I never remembered to go back to it. I wasn't falling in love with it.
I was in love with it. I just was like, and it was a movie that I saw in the theater. I made a point. I was like, I don't even want to write about this one. I just want to like let it wash over me. And it was the perfect way to watch that movie. Just saw it in a theater all by myself, and it just was like, I'm sitting there crying by myself.
Yeah, but you just broke up with somebody.
No.
Okay. All right, good.
It was about children too, so it's just about sad children.
Yeah. Now we get like he does that weird thing, and he's back doing his weird thing.
It's his least weird movie.
However, house driving around.
It's very similar in tone, and I don't know if you like this movie to Green Hornet.
I love Green Hornet.
I
and
do
I
too.
fight with people all the time
And
about Green
it's like
Hornet.
the prequel to Green Hornet. It's like what would happen? What made Seth Rogen become the Green Hornet guy?
Yeah.
This friendship.
You know what? I may now go back and watch this as
But
a
you got to
proofer.
sit down and just like let it be a French movie.
Well, I'll sit down with some friends. I'll be talking about other things. I play video games while I'm watching. Well, Greg, man, no worries. Doing a great job.
But the movie that I really liked that is nominated was probably Moonlight.
Moonlight. Now, did you saw that? Gail?
I just watched it 2 nights ago and I loved it. I thought it was really beautiful. I think it kind of reminds me of those kind of mid-90s, independent foreign, even though it's like an English film, it has the feeling of like a mid-90s.
And the director, Barry Jenkins, really does feel like a director who in the 90s would have been the director everyone was talking about. The Discovery director.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
We used to. I loved it every year.
But it's really beautiful. It's like,
well, did you see my review, Gail?
What?
Moonlight. I put just boom mic because I couldn't hear it very well. I just thought it needed a boom mic.
Did they even use a boom mic?
Is that your favorite so far?
No, I think the film that I loved the most was Hell or High Water, but I also really liked Moonlight. I liked Arrival. I
loved Arrival.
Yeah.
Loved Arrival. Another movie that was like, I think now you really have to I almost want to review movies and say the way to watch the movie to enjoy the movie, because saw that movie in the perfect way of I was like wide awake and I was in a good theater. I could hear everything. I could see everything. And it just sort of takes your breath away a little bit.
I thought it reminded me of the old-fashioned sci-fi novels that I read when I was a kid.
Yes.
Where they were about, it wasn't about action.
Right.
It was about this problem that needed to be solved, and humanity was going to be on the other side.
Yeah, it had a very Ray Bradbury kind of smart sci-fi.
It's probably the closest what we've had to something like The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Right.
Which is, original Day the Earth Stood Still is this very thoughtful, thought-provoking movie. Now, because I was giving my recommendations of movies people should see, did you ever see Eye in the Sky?
Just the Alan Parsons Project version of that.
No, it's Alan Rickman's last movie.
Wow.
It stars Helen Mirren, and Aaron Paul has a pretty good part in it. But it's this huge cast of people from Africa, England. Sorry, touch the mic. Africa, England. Africa, England. It's this whole international cast, and it's kind of fail-safe in the era of drone warfare.
I'm kind of nationalistic with my movies. Like, I'm made in America, by Americans, with Americans. I saw a movie the other day and a Mexican in it, and I started booing.
You were at home, too, which is weird.
I boo at home.
When I told my father to see it, he was like, I don't want to watch this movie. He said it was the movie that made him almost, nauseous with the pit in his stomach feeling that he got from it. Because it's so tense. It's so tense. But he loved it.
Vito, what is your movie of the year?
It was La La Land for me. I like movies about Hollywood like the rest of Hollywood likes, and I'm just a Ryan Gosling dude. But what you guys didn't like about it, I like that it was like he wasn't a great singer and she's not a great singer.
I'm telling you, go see Everybody Says I Love You. It was done 10 times better.
I think you will like that, too.
Oh, you would like Everybody Says I Love You, because they cannot sing, particularly Woody Allen. They really can't sing.
They can't sing, but they sing singable songs, unlike La La Land.
Well, those are all standard movies, standard songs that they did in that movie, and this is original music.
But I actually sat there and I thought, if you're going to give this, Grease is 1,000,000 times better than this movie. Any musical you go back.
I would rewatch Grease before I rewatch. I can't imagine myself going and buying La La Land and being like, I got to watch this thing a million times. And I love to do that with musicals. I was just saying, it's like if La La Land were maybe 40 minutes shorter and had twice as many songs, I might really love that movie.
There was one point, it's so funny you said that. I go, oh, I forgot this was a musical because they took 25 minutes off of being a musical.
Yeah.
And then when she starts to sing, and the song wasn't that good.
Yeah. The fact that all the songs have a tendency to be kind of a dirge, it's just and the beginning has the peppy music, and it's not great music, but at least it's peppy music. I realized something about myself this year because of the whole thing about musicals, whether they've come back or not. I love a musical if it is a singing and dancing musical. A Phantom, what is the one where everyone was singing and Russell Crowe couldn't sing? Les Miserables.
Les Miserables.
I was like, boom, I hate this movie. I just hate sitting through it when they're not like dancing.
Right.
And I can't imagine anyone who loves musicals being like, and La La Land is one of my all-time favorite musicals.
It's insane.
It's not a favorite.
I was even saying, like, people are going, oh, it's not Gene Kelly. I'm like, it's not even Dick Van Dyke.
No.
You don't have a guy who's light on his feet, who can move, and you're like, oh, that's interesting. You know how... There was a point, I swear to God, that I was watching Gosling and she was dancing and he was leaning forward waiting for his chance to jump in there. And I'm like, this is driving me nuts.
But you said that you love Ryan Gosling.
I love Ryan.
I also love Ryan Gosling. I love him.
First of all,
I
what's
think
not
he's
to love?
so
What's not to
charming
love?
in person. I went to see his movie that he directed, and he is as charming as you think he is charming. But I think he's better in The Nice Guys.
Oh, I said the same thing.
So which one did you like better?
Oh, I mean, like my favorite 2 movies of the year were The Nice Guys and actually like Everybody Wants Some, but those didn't get nominated.
Yeah, Everybody Wants Some. I can't believe that movie didn't get nominated for best screenplay at least.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I did too.
Here's my theory about that movie too. I don't know whether, but you guys all saw Dazed and Confused, right? So that was 1976. So the young kid who was the pitcher, there he is in 1976 as a freshman in high school. The next movie is 1980, and the kid comes in. He's a stud pitcher now, and he's cool because he's very confident. You'll never see a first day of college movie where a guy comes in and just like, say, this is great, everybody. I got my albums. I'm going to throw them up here. I'm meeting some girls. This is all fun. You know what I mean? Like, he was very confident.
Yes. I loved that movie. I thought the dialogue was fantastic. I did the press day. I have to just tell a story. I have never seen someone so excited to be in a movie as the guys in that movie. Because they're all like newbies. They were so excited. They were just like, am I going to get to do an interview with you? What are we doing there now? They were so excited to be at that press day. I've never seen that before. They were
Well, here's
so
the thing,
happy.
too. I honestly think that they all got the roles of their life. You know what I mean? Like, when I watched that, I'm like, it reminds me of like American Graffiti or something,
totally.
you know? That no matter what they do, they're going to say, yeah, but that first movie.
Now, are you a Twilight Zone fan?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get, because I didn't get it the first time that I watched it, the thing about the name of the pitcher who likes the Twilight Zone, what his last name was?
Oh, no, what was it?
Willoughby. And there's an episode from the Twilight Zone called The Stop at Willoughby, which is very reflective of his arc.
And that's Kate Hudson's brother, right?
Yes.
He was really good in it. Everybody in that movie. See, this was the other thing about that movie. It shows like the connection between being competitive and being an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, they're all kind of assholes because they have to win, but that's what makes you, a winner when you put this team together. But they don't turn it on and off. You know what I mean?
No,
they're playing checkers. If you lose, you're fucking kicking the thing over.
I think it's also a reason to not put those people in the same house together.
Yeah.
That is like, it's just going to clump into a nightmare situation, and that's how you get bad fraternity behavior.
Chris, by the way, have you seen the movie yet?
I've not seen it, no.
And we both, Vito, and I beg you to.
I know. I didn't see many movies in 2016. I only just saw Snowden, and that would be my favorite, but it's not nominated.
Your favorite is the only one.
I thought The Lobster was your favorite.
I saw that in 2015.
Illegally.
Yeah, illegally. Yeah. So I don't count that as a 2016 film.
I didn't like The Lobster at all.
Really?
Didn't like it at all.
How come?
It wasn't interesting, and it was ridiculous, and it plodded along. And seriously, I don't like to say people were self-indulgent, but that was a self-indulgent fucking movie.
I was
that
so
was
entertained by that
how
movie.
weird can we get to let people know we're not normal?
It seems to be really polarizing. I haven't seen it yet, but I have heard nothing but extreme responses about it. Either really disliked it or really liked
Here's
it.
the thing. Because of that movie, I'm not even eating lobster now. Because every time I look at lobster, it reminds me of that movie.
You're afraid you're going to be eating Colin Farrell.
I would rather have eaten Colin Farrell than watch that movie. All right, so I think there's probably only one thing that could be a surprise in this, and that's Best Actor, right? Out of everything is pretty much locked up besides
Who
Best
do you
Actor.
think is the predictable one for Best Actor?
I think it would be 100% Casey Affleck, if not for the stuff, the political stuff that came up.
I agree.
I love Denzel, but I could have picked a lot of other movies I thought Denzel was been better in this. And it'll be his third Oscar. That's Daniel Day.
Yeah.
Time.
And I didn't love Fences. I think I would love the play.
I feel exactly the same as you. I told you, Gail.
It's kind of not a movie.
Yeah. It gets a little claustrophobic.
And also, they're talking about recollections.
Right.
And they're not showing the recollections.
Yeah,
And,
they're probably staying true to the play and true to the text.
It's 100% true to the play.
It's like, this is the one time where I'm like, why are we using flashbacks? It is what would make the most logical sense.
Right.
So I didn't love it. I'd be okay with Denzel winning.
Well, everybody's okay with Denzel.
You, of course,
right?
want Ryan Gosling to win.
Yeah.
City of Lights. I'm in a movie singing City of Lights.
Well, it's funny, looking back, that wasn't even my favorite musical of the year. That movie, Sing Street, was so good. And, like, it didn't even get nominated for Best Song, which is crazy.
That's true. It didn't get nominated for Best Song.
No. Sing Street's the Irish movie where it's like this kid growing up in the 80s and he's like taking influences from all these like new wave artists and like writing his own songs.
An updated version of The Commitments.
Yeah.
Commitments.
Oh, yeah. But it's by the guy who made Once.
Of course, that fucking guy. Seriously, if there's ever a guy who's hurt music more than him, I want to meet him.
I'm trying to think. Who is the other two people up for Best Actor are?
So that's Andrew Garfield. I mean, not Andrew Garfield, it's the director. Who's the...
No, Andrew Garfield's the actor.
Oh, yeah. Andrew Garfield in Hacksaw Ridge, and then Viggo.
Viggo and Captain Fantastic.
Here's the one thing I would think. There's a very slim chance that Viggo will be the underdog if there is truly a split between Denzel Washington.
I'll go crazy that night if Viggo wins.
But people really like Viggo Mortensen, and he has stayed in the game
He's
from
great.
like this last winter.
Yeah.
So that's the one reason why I think if there's going to be an upset, it would be him. I don't think Ryan Gosling's the upset. And I think Andrew Garfield's not experienced enough for people to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Spider-Man. I'm always going to hate him for that.
Not anymore. He lost that gig.
Let me see what I wrote for Captain Fantastic. Oh, I just simply wrote, I missed the brown dirt cowboy.
I didn't love it, but I liked him in it.
Yeah.
So,
but you like him in everything. I mean, he's great.
Oh, yeah. He's a great actor.
Now, did you like Manchester by the Sea as a movie, or did you just like Casey's performance? Like, what was your take on that?
I really liked it. Did not love it. I was so glad there was comic relief in it, because I think if there were none, you would want to stab yourself in the eye. Similar to Moonlight, the fact that there was some comedic relief in that movie was such a genuine relief.
Well, that was the funniest scene in that movie is when Ben Affleck shows up and goes, "What, did you jerk off in my baseball glove?" Let me see what my review for Manchester by the Sea was. I just put down Chichester takes a pee. I don't even know why I wrote that. I don't know what it means.
I would like Casey Affleck to win, but I completely understand the reason why. And, you know, you can't get over the PC reason why he probably will not win this year.
But shouldn't we push that away? I mean, it's about the movie, right? It's about
depends.
the
work. I would agree, although the problem is that earlier in the year, they kind of already ran out the actor from Birth of a Nation.
I never even saw it yet.
And so that was kind of set there. So it's not even so much if you
but
can
you're
go...
saying two wrongs make a right.
I'm saying that it would be a weird situation. It would look weird, I think.
Well, can I tell you what works about this?
Yeah.
Casey's a white guy.
Yes, exactly.
And that would help.
That's
I mean,
exactly
to me, that
how it'll
helps.
come off.
I'm able to forgive white guys. By the way, I just want to get this across. Casey is a girl's name. And it's time we all admit that and we stop going back and forth.
Just a quick question,
Yeah.
Detour. You saw Ain't Them Body Saints this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The two of them play best friends in that movie.
It's very strange.
It's very weird.
It's a very weird moment. And you don't see him until halfway through the film. And I can't remember that actor's name.
Nate Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an abusive film.
Yeah, it's a very, very weird moment.
I didn't even think about it until you were bringing it up and talking about how much you like, and I love that movie. But I didn't even think about the fact, because I had seen that movie so long ago that I was like, that is weird that the two of them are in the same movie together and they kind of have the same charges brought up against them.
In the same year, and it's very strange. Yeah.
If anyone's going to win for Manchester by the Sea, it's probably going to be the writer. And there's a chance that Michelle Williams will be the underdog.
No way.
No way?
Mm-mm.
For the writer?
No, for Michelle Williams.
For Michelle Williams.
It's not her year.
No, I think Viola Davis
they've already
will.
given it to her, and she's going to walk down the red carpet with it. That's how much people love her. They love her.
I liked her in it, but it's one of those cases of it is a scene that she would be winning for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Michelle...
But same thing with Michelle Williams. She has maybe two scenes that are really good, but it's the supporting actor.
I like actresses in the film just enough to prove that the guy isn't gay. So I just want them to show up and say, honey, are you going to be all right?
I'm like, okay, so he's straight. Great.
Yeah.
Got it.
You're doing this for me and the kids, right, Die Hard? His name is John Die Hard. No, Bruce Willis actually changed his name to John Die Hard.
Now, in terms of supporting actor, I don't think there's a chance in hell that the actor from Moonlight will not win that award.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you loved Hell or High Water.
Yes, I did.
Do you really think Jeff Bridges gave the best performance of all those four actors?
I don't think Jeff Bridges was a supporting actor in that film.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I thought it was his movie.
Yeah, there's kind of three lead roles.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I would agree.
And the supporting actor, I would have given it to the guy who played the brother.
Yeah.
Ben Foster?
Yeah.
But Gil Birmingham is amazing in it, who plays the partner.
He's good, but he's also not a white guy.
But he's so great in it.
Yeah, I know he is for a person of color.
He was by far my favorite performance, and I said from the very beginning, I hope that they put him forward to supporting actor. The minute Jeff Bridges started to go in supporting actor category,
I'm
like,
surprised
you're
by
screwing that.
Yeah.
You're screwing it for him.
Yeah. And he's got his Oscar.
Yeah, and that's not his best performance.
I would probably agree.
Yeah.
But some guy called us today and not a Jeff Bridges fan anymore.
At all?
He's only a fan of, you know what, the Dude Bro movie that all the frat boys love.
Oh.
Lebowski.
Yeah.
I think that there's probably a lot of people who love The Big Lebowski who have never seen Jeff
Cohen?
Bridges
Or
in like another version.
No.
Because could you imagine them watching like Unbreakable or something? Is it Unbreakable or
No, it's Breakable.
What is the plane crash movie?
Uncrashable. What is that?
I can't even remember, but the one with like Jeff Bridges and he's so subtle in it and great. But I would not be surprised. But I don't think there's a chance he'll win. I think it's definitely going to be the actor from Moonlight.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
agree.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of surprises other than we get to Best Actor. I really do. I think that's the one
But the
that's still out
surprise
there.
is if Casey Affleck wins.
Yeah, I think that would be...
That would be the bigger
what I'm
surprise
saying,
than if
that's the
Denzel
only,
won.
that's the only one not called yet.
Well, what about Best Actress?
Oh, that's Locke.
Emma Stone?
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
The world loves Emma Stone.
The world does love Emma Stone.
And I will say this. Remember in Superbad, she doesn't show up till like the end of the movie. I'm like, man, this kid's great.
Yeah.
And she was just the girlfriend. You know what I mean? She was just the girlfriend in the background. And I was just like, this kid's really good.
Yeah. She's a movie star.
She is.
She is a movie
She's
star.
a real, and an actress too. You know what I mean? And in this movie that she did, I thought her best scenes were reaction scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just heartbreaking reaction scenes. Like the scenes where she wasn't paying attention to when they were, doing auditions and stuff. I thought she was amazing. The heartbreak scenes at the end, I thought she was amazing.
She's great at almost crying.
Yeah.
She's fantastic at it. But, I I'm trying to think if there's anyone who could be the surprise for it, because I feel like Amy Adams was the surprise when she didn't get
I thought she was
nominated.
unbelievable.
I thought
she was the movie.
If she was in the category, I would have said she should win over Emma Stone this year.
By the way,
personally, I agree because I was really floored by her performance. I also didn't see Jackie, but it's not nominated for too much else. So
It's a good performance. I don't think there's a chance that she will win over Emma Stone.
No, I don't think so either. Because she's already got one.
Yeah.
And this film didn't get a lot of heat.
Yeah.
You know?
And boy, did I hate Florence Foster Jenkins.
I know that you did.
Hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Now, what did you hate?
I hated the way that it is a movie that is being presented as heartwarming, and it should be a satire about why infantilizing women is kind of criminal to do, because that is essentially what Hugh Grant did to his wife. And we're supposed to be like, oh, but the bad reporter, he ruined this.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just made a movie about why the press has to be completely honest all the time with the program, which is a better movie, and by the same director, which I cannot believe it is the same director of that movie, because one is satirical and smart and timely. And I hated Florence Foster Jenkins. And I don't think Meryl Streep was very good in that movie.
Well, here's the thing about...
She never acted opposite anyone. She was performing like she was doing solo work. And that is annoying to watch on screen.
I think that movie should have ended with pig's blood falling down on her, because it was really set up of the nerd.
Carey-ish.
Yeah, the nerd thinks she can sing. Isn't this funny? The nerd thinks she can sing. And it didn't even dawn on me to blame Hugh Grant's character.
He's the
for
villain.
That, which,
he is the villain.
Yeah, which, of course, he even makes her believe that she's in some kind of marriage that she's not in.
And he treats her like an idiot. And he's like, well, she's a good person. I'm like, but you do not respect your wife. You may say you love your wife, but you do not respect your wife. And you are kind of a scumbag for that.
That reminds me of Chris Stanley and why his relationship broke up this year. Now he's on Tinder.
He's laughing so hard at that.
It's sad.
No abuse. But yes, I'm on Tinder.
Well, it wasn't physical.
It wasn't physical. It was mental.
It was mental abuse, and you do that to me. You mentally abuse me.
I don't.
Sometimes you can just abuse someone with disappointment.
Chris, did you have a favorite film this year? Is it still G.I. Joe? You still that?
Blood Snowden.
Snowed in is what he saw. It's a story of some people.
Snowden's Oliver Stone's best work since Any Given Sunday.
You just called him Oliver Stone.
And then you said Snowden.
Snowden. Wait till she's Snowden. First of all, Any Given Sunday is seriously terrible.
It's an enjoyable movie.
I don't know how far you got to go back to say that Oliver Stone made a great movie.
It's very weird, though, that Any Given Sunday is, I've never heard anyone talk about it,
Him
and
and Dave.
Chris talks about it nonstop.
It's because he got it from Dave, and then he felt that he could play up to Dave by liking it.
And then just at random, he'll just bring up, like, a quote or a thing from Any Given Sunday, and I'm like, I've literally seen that movie once, and I never saw it again.
I've never met anyone who's rewatched the movie. Like, I've met people who've seen it, and I've seen it once when it was on cable, but I've never met someone who's memorized the movie. That's impressive.
Steamin' Willie Beeman.
What?
Steamin' Willie Beeman. That's Jamie Foxx.
What's James Woods' doctor character name?
Jeff?
Have you ever... When did you watch Any Given Sunday?
Dave showed it to him. Dave showed it to him, and then he wanted to be Dave for a while. He was East Side.
I saw Any Given Sunday in theaters.
Chris called me one day, and he goes, "Hey, man, it's West Side Chris." I go, "That isn't your name. That isn't your name."
I was thinking about this the other day, of what movie I can truly say I memorized, and it is the movies that you watch when you're like 9 years old.
I would say there's some truth to that as well.
It's like, it's not a good movie, but I could probably quote all of Grease 2.
Sure.
Yeah, because I watched it like 100 times when I was 9.
All those movies that I like obsessively watched over and over, I could like stand in front of and perform each part.
But at what age?
To this day. Because like, I guess very little to probably about 9 or 10, where you're like, you still rewatch movies over and over.
It's the age when you're old enough to rent a video by yourself.
I don't know. Gail could do a pretty good Raising Arizona when she was younger. And we almost sent a tape. Do you remember that, Gail?
I know. We really thought about sending, like, he was like, I want to tape you doing this and send this to Frances McDormand when I was just little. And me being like, where's that baby? Where's he at?
Well,
that would be an incredible.
This is how stupid we were. So we're like, oh, I bet this woman doesn't know that, doesn't have a lot of fans. She just has this small part. We didn't realize who she was going to become.
Yeah.
And we just thought her I was the lady from Raising Arizona. And then Gail would do...
Just like, you got to get your dip tat, okay? Did you get his dip tat? What if something happens to you? You get taken up by a twister?
What was the age? 5?
You were a little kid like that.
I can't remember.
And then I'm like,
exactly.
oh, let's tape this and then send it to this woman. We'll find out her name. And then we're like, oh, man, it'll take forever to do that.
But don't you think that she would have been kind of alarmed that a little child is watching Raising Arizona endlessly?
I bet she would have loved it since her husband made the movie. You know what I mean? It would have probably been the cutest thing. Ada, what movie were you obsessed with as a little kid?
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? I would sing the song.
It's all Coen Brothers.
I would sing the song.
At least that's a good movie. I watched garbage when I was really little.
Let's hear you. These are 90s babies.
All I remember is the first part, just, I am a man of constant sorrow. And I don't remember the rest now, but when I was a kid.
I doubt very much that you did anything more than that.
Yeah. That was probably it, but my mom...
I got trouble on my days. I didn't memorize it, and I at least know that.
My mom bought the
that was in the trailer a lot.
Yeah,
that song was in the trailer a lot. My sister has never watched Saturday Night Fever all the way through, but we used to watch like the first 20 minutes of the movie. So we would just sit there and laugh as we did the "you touched my head" thing, just constantly. And she's never seen the movie, so she doesn't know that movie gets dark and depressing. She thinks it's like a comedy.
No, there's a rape in that movie.
Yeah, and a suicide.
This is the weirdest thing.
Accidental death?
No, it's a suicide. He jumps off the bridge.
A teen movie where there's a rape, and not only is there not justice brought to it, but the girl hangs out with the rapist again.
Yeah.
For the rest of the
It was
film.
the 70s.
Yes, the 70s.
There was not a good idea of what that was.
I always think that's strange of like, and again, that's like older movies could get away with that where you could not do...
Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Who didn't watch Revenge of the Nerds and not know that was a rape? That was a rape.
Then there's
John Hughes movie.
Yeah, there's 16 Candles is a rape.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a date rape. She didn't even know he was going to be there.
Right.
It's just like literally she was passed out. He has sex with her when she's unconscious, and then she wakes up and she's like, God, I don't remember it. How was I?
The
like,
80s were
what?
were terrible for that.
There was always some 80s movie where the girl's tits would magically pop out of her and everybody else would yell like it was why people are obsessed with embarrassed nude female today. ENF.
I believe. Now, I might be wrong, but when I was 6, 7, we were watching National Lampoon's European Vacation before I ever watched Vacation. It was the first one I watched. And I am pretty sure the Disney Channel aired an unedited version of it because there were so many tits.
Yeah.
And it was like it was airing on the Disney Channel, and I was like, and I did not know that there was an edited version until I watched it on Comedy Central years later, because I think that was the first time I ever saw nudity in a movie.
Well, you know what? There was always the tit scene in every 80s movie, which is now replaced by the funny dick scene.
Yeah.
Some guy's dick is out and everyone laughs.
There's a hilarious dick somewhere.
Yeah.
Started with like Forgetting Sarah Marshall in the breakup scene.
Yeah, that was a very big one. But
there was a terrible movie, Hall Pass.
Yeah.
There, an extended scene like that.
But even if you think about, don't you see in Vacation, like the original Vacation movie, you see her tits in the shower,
The
don't
mom's
you?
tits show up in what's basically a children's movie.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? I mean, like,
Why?
there's just like an unwarranted. Just for some reason, we see the mom of this family funny movie.
It was National Lampoon, though.
Yeah.
And they were like, we got to get some tits in this. You know what I mean? We got to get people to show up.
And again, 16 Candles is another one where they're looking at the hot girl and then it's just like boing, and it's just like close up on a 16-year-old girl's tits.
Is there,
what it's supposed to be?
That's so weird. Is there nudity in Animal House?
Yes.
There is nudity.
Yes, and it's also, he's peeking.
He's sneaking in on her.
Sneaking and looking through the windows as the girls are having pillow fights.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, well, look at Fast Times. There's a high school girl and a long fantasy about her tits while he's jacking off.
Yeah.
And that's
Bizarre.
supposedly a high school girl.
I was home over the weekend of last weekend, and my sister and I, we were watching the end of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is a underrated movie.
Not by me.
Judge Reinhold is great in that movie. I never appreciated him as much as I just watched it. It was like, he's so deadpan.
Learn it, live it, love it.
I say that to these guys all the time.
And how proud he is to be running the fucking fry thing, and then he ends up at the fish place.
And I was just pointing out to my mother all the actor. I was like, look, Nicolas Cage, Eric Stoltz. And she's like, that's not Nicolas Cage. I'm like, it is Nicolas Cage. It's Nick Coppola.
Yeah, he was Nick Coppola then. Supposedly, he had a bigger thing that they cut out. And supposedly, he kept saying to people, I'm going to be a really big star in my uncle's.
Well, first drop the name.
Very much. But Sean Penn was so great in that movie that I thought that was him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I thought he was a stoner Southern California kid.
It's hard to believe that is the same actor.
No, it's acting.
Because you just want him to go back and do a part like that. Just once. Just be a goofball.
No, he's too angry.
He is
Something happened with Madonna.
He is an angry man.
Something terrible happened with Madonna, let's face it. What is it, Chris?
Leslie Coffin's in studio. Leslie's book, Hitchcock Stars. Alfred Hitchcock in the Hollywood Studio System is available now in paperback on Amazon.com. And on Twitter, it's @filmbiographer.
Thank you.
By the way, how do you think Jimmy Kimmel's going to do in this Oscar thing?
Oh, I think he is tailor-made to be an Oscar host. That is like that is what he likes to do. He likes to be a host. He likes to make everyone feel good, and he likes to dress up in suits. He is perfect for that.
I read a thing with him. He goes, "It's just one thing I want to just cross off."
Hasn't he been hosting the after Oscar show forever?
Yeah, he has. Yeah. And it's the Oscars that didn't want him. ABC is asked every time they get the Oscars.
Why not the Oscars like him? Because he's not a movie guy?
Well, because he comes in third place. And they like the first and second place people.
I think I've seen his show more than the other two.
You're a Kimmel.
I find him funny. Mm-hmm. I find him very funny. I still will watch Seth Meyers or James Corden. I would just tape it or DVR it now.
Those are your two favorite.
I think they're the funniest, and I think they're the best at the interviews.
Well, they care more than the other people.
They've read the card before getting to the set.
Yeah. I understand you did some kind of movie.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the best interviewer in the late nights and who's the worst?
I think Seth might be the best right now.
I think Seth is fantastic when it is someone he has met before.
Well, yeah, anybody
It
from
is
SNL.
awkward when he does not know that person.
When it's SNL, he's got remember this guy?
Yeah.
The worst is easily Conan.
Yeah, Conan is really...
But I love how awkward he is. He's such a weirdo.
I've had 20-some years of him being awkward. I've had enough. His thing is always like this. So you're in a new movie where you play that you're in space? Could you imagine if I was in space? I'd be like, get me out of space!
He just likes...
the movie.
Whoa!
He just likes to set up a joke.
Yeah.
But if the person is funny, he oftentimes gets a good joke. I think Andy is great when they let him actually play off someone. But most of the time, he just sits in the corner.
He sits there and he collects the check because he went out and tried to do it on his own, and that didn't work out so good. So fuck it. Let's ride this thing as long as we can. We got to go to Mexico City now. Shit. What happened with us just staying in New York?
This was supposed to be a cushy gig.
Why am I doing a show from Yugoslavia? It's uncomfortable for me.
But it's funny because Conan's in-office stuff when he's talking to his staff is some of the funniest stuff on late night. So
he's pretty brutal. He's pretty brutal as a boss.
I love watching him do that.
Well, no,
particularly that Jordan.
Schlansky.
He is annoying.
When you watch that documentary that Conan did, you're
I know,
like,
and his assistant, his poor assistant.
He's not a very nice person.
No, and I'm
Right?
somebody who loves him, and I watched that documentary, and I was like, dude, you gotta calm down sometimes.
Can you imagine there was a documentary about me? I'd be like, places, everyone.
I think the reason Kimmel will do a good job is that he is genuinely interested in making people feel comfortable when they're on his show.
Really?
Because I have never seen someone get genuinely nervous being near him.
All right, here's something that I saw yesterday. It's up on the iBang now.
Oh, no.
And it is, Reddit put this up, and these are audition snapshots, right? Polaroids from 80s actors, and let's see who we can all guess. So let's do it one at a time. Make the pictures bigger if you can, Vito. See if everybody recognizes the guy there.
Well, one of them is Drew Barrymore.
Well, let's go one at a time. So, Vito, what do we got? Who's the first one? No, don't even say it. Yeah. Let everybody can see it. Does everybody recognize that person?
I think I have it, but I've never seen this person look like this.
Who you got?
Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller, yeah.
Okay.
All right, number 2.
Cameron Diaz?
Cameron Diaz is correct.
Yeah, she doesn't look too different than she looked in the mask.
And I remember the first time I saw her in a mask, I thought she was just stunning. All right, number 3.
Drew Barrymore.
There's Drew Barrymore. All right, let's go down to row 2.
That's a terrible picture, so I don't know who it is.
I'm going to say, I'm just going by head shape. Is that a very young Christina Ricci?
Very good.
Really?
Yes. That's, all right, the next one over.
Elijah Wood?
Really good. I thought he was the 80s kid, like to play the younger brother.
It's funny
in
that
the
I would
sitcom.
recognize him now, because now when he's in a movie, I just assume it's Daniel Radcliffe. I cannot tell the difference between them.
I actually couldn't tell. I can't believe, even though he was in movies as a kid, I was sitting here going, oh, that's got to be Devon Sawa. And then I'm like, why is Devon Sawa on this list of
All right,
known actors?
Next to him.
Benicio del Toro?
It is.
Yeah, that's dude, he looks great though.
Yeah.
It's a very cool look.
All right.
He looks like he should be in a James Dean movie.
All right, the blonde now.
Who is that?
We love her.
Juliette
Lewis.
Very good.
You got it, yeah.
All right, in the middle.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Yes. He looks great too. That one's kind of easy because he was an 80s star.
Who is that?
I don't know.
It's Jason Priestley.
Oh, why is he on the list?
I don't know. I think Reddit put this up. All right.
I've never seen him with the rocking hair like that.
All right. Row 4, first one on the left.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody.
Yes.
Looking
Now,
just like Cheers.
the person in the middle.
I have no idea who that is.
No idea.
Not at all. Not even slightly.
Chris, who are you on the phone with?
Guess has some ID problems, so I'm working that out.
All right, I want you to look at the thing in the middle right there. Can you say it? All right, all right, we're going to come back. The girl on the end here. She was very hot for a while and a serial dater.
Laura Flynn Boyle.
Very good.
Oh, you're right.
Back to the middle, still can't get.
Nope.
I have no idea who that is.
None. Do you know who it is, Vito?
Chris, do you know who that person is?
No, I do not.
That is your favorite actor in the world. That is Billy Bob Thornton.
Whoa!
Yeah.
He looks terrible with that much hair.
And
oh my God,
I know that's the one that I couldn't get at all.
He is
so
Jason
shocked.
Statham-esque of you cannot recognize him with hair, and he looks like a nerd.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Hair on him looks weird.
I also didn't know that he was that young out in Hollywood. It just seemed like he was a guy who showed up.
Did he
later
go
in life.
back to Texas and like try and make movies there?
Well, he's from Arkansas, so
Okay.
he'd fight you very hard.
I'm sorry.
No, I think he had a lot of small parts before he broke through.
Before he did Sling Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next row. Vito, I hate to wake you up. Oh, we're back to the
It's the
beginning.
same.
Okay. So you guys did pretty good with that.
That was but I don't think I in a million years would have
Dude, I
got
didn't
that
get
Billy
Billy
Bob.
Bob either.
I could have looked at that for hours. I don't think I would have got
What
it.
year is that? I
Well,
wonder.
this is all throughout the 80s, so that could have been like an 84, 85.
it's
he
a
looks like he's
true-
wearing suspenders.
so strange.
And it's a mullet. It's a genuine mullet.
Well,
Yeah, this is-
that was called a sports cut at the time. I mean, if it was named a mullet, nobody would have gotten it.
I was thinking it maybe was Joey Pantoliano, but I thought his head was not the right shape.
Yeah, I thought
Stanley Tucci for a second.
No. Stanley Tucci.
I love Stanley Tucci now. Yeah.
Look how attractive Woody was.
Yeah, he's a doll.
He has
there.
great, like, 80s feathered hair almost.
Yeah.
It's great.
I think he overfeathered it, though, poor thing. But he's going to be good in the new Han Solo movie.
I can't believe he's doing that movie.
Yeah, he's going to be the mentor.
That's crazy. Now,
Much like he does all the time.
You never saw the Star Wars movie.
What?
The one that came out this year.
Rogue One?
And you never will.
Well, I'll see it someday, but I won't sit there going, oh, plot point. Do you want to ruin a plot point for me? I don't
No.
know.
I mean, it's kind of what you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what happened. You saw it, though.
No, I didn't see it yet.
What?
I
can't believe it.
I was going to go to Alamo Draft House and I never made it out.
I saw it at the Alamo Draft House because, like I said, you got to see movies in the correct atmosphere.
Wait,
And
where
there was a guy.
Where's this Alamo Draft House? Brooklyn?
Brooklyn.
It's one of those like sit-in waiter.
Yeah.
I don't want food there.
Also, small audience, but there was a guy who was so loud and clapped every single time there was a reference to any of the other movies.
Oh,
It was very annoying.
no.
It was very annoying.
First of all, no one. This isn't a live performance. Don't clap. Now, I want to point this out about Leslie, and she sent me a thing. Have you seen Lego Batman?
Loved it.
And I
Loved
said,
it.
No, I haven't. I'm an adult and did not see it.
It's so charming.
And you thought it was better than any superhero movie you've ever seen.
It's definitely it's the best one of the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have a real soft spot for Winter Soldier. I think that movie's very good and like entertaining. But Lego Batman is so silly and like wonderfully irreverent. Just the voice work from Will Arnett is like perfection. He's so great at narcissistic, childlike characters.
No, it's true.
And Michael Cera his voice is wonderful.
No, Vito, you didn't see this?
No, I did not see this.
Now, why is it a Lego Batman? It's just not a Batman cartoon. Why are they Legos in a cartoon? I'm very stunned by this. Because everyone
That's a
said to me,
good question.
go see the Lego movie. And I go, why?
I didn't love the Lego movie, but I liked the character of Batman in the Lego movie. I don't think that they would be as silly if it was a Batman cartoon movie.
So this is like a spin-off of original
It's
Legos.
a parody. It's a parody of the Batman movies.
Aren't the Batman movies a parody of Batman movies?
Did you see Dawn of Justice? There's nothing funny in that movie.
Oh,
Nothing.
Vito.
Nothing.
You can't attack Big Ben like that.
Yes, I can.
It's not the clock, the actor.
He's
She's fine. She loves the clock.
The Batman's going to be phenomenal, even with the new director.
And
I don't even know if that movie's going to get made. I
I'm agreeing
kind of
with
doubt
you.
it.
I like the Planet of the Apes director doing it.
That's a great name for him, the Planet of the Apes director.
Which one?
Yeah.
I think it's the
guy from 1969.
Is it the guy who's doing the most recent Planet of the Apes movie or the first one?
I think it's the guy who did the first one.
Matt Reeves?
Yeah.
He's a good director.
Yes. I'd rather see Chris Reeves direct this. Is that too late?
But
too late of a reference?
I mean, the fact that he's so disinterested in the movie is a pain.
Hey, I'm the same way, so he's
but he's in it. He's in it.
He's perfect for me.
I feel you, dude.
I'm very curious to see Wonder Woman. I wish that it was just a historical take on a superhero movie, but I like the director. Patty Jenkins is good.
I already wrote my review for it. Wonder why they made this.
And
Chris, are you okay? You look like you're freaking out.
Is everything all right?
No, everything actually is all right now. Yes.
But why are you looking at your phone and screaming and yelling? What happened? You didn't have a license?
The person that had an expired license.
Why are you saying this person?
Matteo Lane.
Okay.
And just the process of just getting someone upstairs into an elevator bank around here is just very frustrating when you have to call like 3 different people.
It happens all the time, and we're fine with it. But why would they think because he's not driving up?
No.
I could see if he had to drive here, and they go, you can't drive your vehicle with an expired license. But I was on that elevator today. You don't even get to push the button.
That's what I'm saying to them, Ron.
My friend and I, we went to an unmasked, and she had an expired license, and it was a real pain for her to get up, too.
Why do you hang around with people like that?
She's nice.
Okay.
But I mean, I would never think the expired license is a big deal if you're not driving.
Yeah.
Because who cares?
It's true. But you know what? We're making America great again.
Although
we gotta know who everybody
I say
is.
that I haven't driven a car in like 8 years. Because I have a license, but I don't drive.
You're missing it. License to Not Drive is a movie I'm working on.
Is it
It's a story of New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Is it a remake of that?
License to Drive.
Yeah.
But
What is
Love it.
the Corey's?
Classic.
Is that the Corey movie?
Oh, yeah. I love a Corey movie.
Well, you know, he's
Goonies.
Yeah, he's being replaced now because they're doing 2 Coreys, and one of them is dead, right? Corey
Yes.
Haim.
Haim is dead.
Yeah, and so they brought in Corey Hart, who did Sunglasses at Night. I think it's just as good.
It's almost as good. You know what I mean?
I'm going to go so far to say better because he has the sunglasses on. And I'm wearing sunglasses at night. Leslie, so great to see you.
Thank you so much.
It's been so long. We got to do this
I
sooner.
mean, I wish that there were more like fantastic movies to see.
Terrible year.
I mean, and
Sad.
it's kind of
Sad.
it's February, and I haven't really seen a lot of great stuff yet either. Maybe that's the reason why the Lego Batman movie's so great.
Because you just don't have
it's
anything
finally
to
out.
watch. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't even like playing with Legos.
I liked
Lincoln Logs.
No, I was for that other thing. There was one other one.
Erector set?
No, I didn't like an erector
Too
set.
complex.
Little People.
I'm going to think of it now.
Connects?
No, I know what it is. They were called Tinker Toys.
Oh,
and they would
yeah.
come with a very sharp stick.
Yeah, I like Tinker Toys.
Yeah, do a jab.
Mostly I just made like a wheel with like dangerous spokes on it.
Yes,
That's mostly-
Chinese stars is what you're looking for. Chinese star. All right, that's it.
Thank you
Thank
for-
you so much, Leslie. You're always great.
Thank you, and hopefully we actually get some good stuff in 2017.
Is there going to be one summer movie that we're all looking forward to? That isn't a reboot, remake, reimagining? Thank you. There's no
Boy,
arrival.
that's a really good question.
That's me. It's considered one of the
And
best.
I can't think of any
Legend.
summer movies. Can't think of any.
Sad.
Can't think of any.
Are you looking forward to a summer movie, Vito?
I actually really like this new Planet of the Apes series.
I don't get that at all. I watched the first one. I thought it was dumb. Second one is unwatchable. Unwatchable.
Kind of want to see Skull Island.
No.
What's that? What's this about?
It's like a prequel to King Kong. It's like in the 70s.
Oh, I saw that. It looks dumb as hell.
Is that movie set in the 70s and that movie set
It looks
in
like
today?
I think it's in the 70s. Like Samuel L. Jackson looks like a guy like in the Nam.
Fortunate Son's in the commercial, so it's probably.
Oh, I guess so.
They should use that more trailers. They never do. So I guess we're in Vietnam in the 60s. Is that what we're doing here?
I think it even starts over a helicopter,
as Chris
too.
calls it. The Nam. He was in the Nam.
Brie Larson's in it, so it's her follow-up to winning an Oscar.
Yeah. She took 2 years to come back and do this. Who else? Somebody else is weird, right? Like Richard Dreyfuss or somebody. There's somebody else that you're like, I didn't think he would do this movie.
John Goodman.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
But he's kind of a working man actor. He'll do some stuff.
John C. Reilly shows up in it.
He's kind of fallen off a little bit, too.
A little bit. I mean, and he's in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Samuel L. Jackson's in it, I think.
Yeah.
But he's in
a working
everything.
actor, yeah.
It's sometimes like I don't think he's differentiating the characters.
He doesn't care. He goes, did you read the script? No, but I read the check. And very happy with this one. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Thank you.
We'll be back with Matteo Lane and his fucked up driver's license. It's Bennington. Well, everybody's sitting around talking about Lenny Kravitz.
Who just waved to us. He waved to us.
Waved to us, pressed against the glass.
Yes.
We were just like, oh my God.
And all of us are like, hey, we've all masturbated to him. I mean, who hasn't masturbated to Lenny Kravitz?
You know, I met him in Florida. He had just had a baby with Lisa Bonet.
Yeah.
And Gail's brother was. So we were just talking about the strangeness of having a baby. And
what is his daughter? Is it a daughter? He had a daughter?
Yeah, she's
Zoe.
gorgeous.
She's got to be hot, right?
Yeah,
Zoe Kravitz.
Well,
Yeah.
can you imagine those two parents?
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, come on.
Those are literally two of our most attractive humans.
Yes.
And they procreated and made a child.
I just can't believe how tiny he was. I'm sure he wouldn't want to hear that.
All
But
stars tend to be tiny.
I always make the joke when I watch like the Oscars and they walk up to that, like, you know, that skinny mic stand. I always say that mic stand is 2.5 feet tall.
Right.
Because all these stars are so tiny. They are small.
They're a lot of actors. All right, there's his daughter.
Oh my God. She's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what? This isn't fair.
Right.
SUNY Purchase grad, by the way.
She's a SUNY Purchase person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good
She's
for
a
her.
what?
State University in New York.
Oh, that's Sunni. I was like, are we talking about Islamic
She's a
terrorists?
Shiite.
Like,
She's actually a Shiite.
I'll
Okay.
put up Lisa Bonet.
yeah, Lisa Bonet too. She was sort of like the black sheep, no pun intended, but the black sheep of that family in the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Like, they treated
yeah.
her like Jessica Biel in Seventh Heaven.
Right.
I mean, she doesn't make
she's so
sense.
beautiful too.
She
What
is
was
the most attractive person.
What was the movie she did with Mickey Rourke where he played the guy who owed his soul?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
she was in that movie and was about as sexy as a person could be.
She doesn't even make sense.
That's what Mariah Carey thinks she looks like.
That's hilarious.
Angel Heart.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
that's it.
Not a great movie, but some great scenes with her in it.
Hell yeah.
Very, very sexy. Although, I'll never turn that movie off.
No, it's great. You put me onto it.
Yeah. Oh, did I?
Yeah. I
That's
didn't see
funny. He sold his soul to the devil, see? Robert De Niro plays the devil in that movie. And you know he's a devil.
I mean, at this point, he's playing like a vanilla cupcake. He's playing anything.
Whatever it takes.
Seriously.
No, you had trouble getting up here.
I know, because I have to renew my license, and I haven't. I lost my Social Security card, so I have to get that. So I didn't bring my passport. I'm an idiot. I did bring my gay gym outfit that I'll be going and working out afterwards, but I did not bring my passport.
Where are you working out today?
I'm working out at New York Sports Club.
Oh.
But in the Upper East Side.
Yeah.
So everyone will be just being pushed around by their Caribbean caretakers.
Right.
It's like me and 7 old Jews. I kind of like it. It's not a cruisy gym. Cruisy meaning like gay men like sitting in a sauna all day waiting.
I was just going to say Equinox, but is that true? Is that
I wish I could afford Equinox, but I live in a place that Anne Frank wouldn't hide in. So getting into Equinox would be quite the challenge. But I'm not one of these. This is Matteo Lane, by the way. If anyone was wondering who this gay voice was coming through the speaker, I don't like. I've become like such a gym guy because I'm just wildly insecure. And I like going to the gym now. It's my own time. I listen to Mariah. I have an hour workout, and then I go home. I can't do the CrossFit thing. That seems really stressful, like people yelling at you and rushing you. I would cry. I would literally start crying.
Now, you and Stavi Baby.
We got to bring him back.
Oh, my God.
This Instagram was like, this is the funniest thing. When I met him, I felt like I met a star because I'd been following his Instagram for a while before I met him. So I was like a little bit like, hey, nice to meet you. You know what I mean? and he.
But you didn't sweat when Lenny Kravitz walked by. But Stavros,
Stavros was leaning against the window, looking at me. By the way, why do you think Lenny was doing that? Is this like, hey,
because he's a nice guy.
You believe you're seeing me right now? Can you believe your luck today?
Do you think he'd let me suck it?
I think he would act like he wasn't paying attention.
Okay, so that's a good yeah. That's
very
a
cool about that.
Yeah, that's a very smooth yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vito, favorite song by Lenny Kravitz?
I grew up in the American Woman era, so.
Yeah, American Woman. Yeah, right? With those long dreads and that red. Yeah.
He does like a song that's like a 70s soul song. It's so great.
So many tears we cry.
That's very good.
That song.
It ain't over till it's over.
That song is
Play this
so
up. We're only
good.
going to listen for a couple seconds. But when anyone acts like Lenny is a poser or whatever, this sounds like Smokey Robinson did this song. And Lenny wrote it. All right, let me just hear it right from the beginning. Track.
This is such good music. Why isn't music like this anymore?
I don't know. I love this. I'll kill for any soul song.
I watched the VMAs like a couple months ago, and literally every singer sounded like Siri was singing to Siri. Like, it's so nice to hear instruments and the voice.
You really could have been with Howard Melvin and the Blue Notes. You missed your time.
I've missed my time. I could have been in the 70s or if I was in the 50s, a closeted gay. America loved closeted gay men singing. I mean, I would have been a wild star. You know, like a Bachelor Forever. You know, I mean, I would have been great. A crooner. I mean, I could sing any Frank Sinatra song right now. In the 50s, I would have been a star. Right now, everyone's like faggot, so it doesn't really work.
Well, you're on that TV show this year, right? The Comedy Jam.
Oh my God!
Show?
Yes, it was the most amazing experience of my life. I got to sing Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You" for about 2,000 people. Yeah. I don't want to give away like one of the surprises, but it was the best night of my life. I mean, I was like dying.
Well, I know with some of those they bring out the person to sing, and I was saying
they dug up Whitney.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want anybody to walk. I think
no one did.
I think that overshadows the singer. It always bothers me.
I was the only one with no background singers and no guests. It was just me and it was so Mariah Carey at the end of Glitter. It was me in a spotlight. You know what I mean?
That's all you wanted.
And I didn't reveal that I could sing.
Yeah.
So like, I spent like 5 minutes bitching about Madonna's face, and then I do. That was my story. And I think she looks like the mask from Saw. But then I started singing, Whitney Houston, and the first note, just because you didn't expect it, you thought it was going to be a big joke, and then it wasn't. And it was the greatest night of my life. I love Josh Adam Meyers forever and ever for that. Man. Yeah, I'm going back to do it because I'm going to LA to do it at midnight on like March 20th. So I'm going back and doing it. I'm singing Queen this time.
Great.
Somebody to Love Me.
Now, have you ever sang Queen live?
No, never live.
That's a very difficult, Freddie Mercury.
Right.
One of the strongest voices of all time. So.
And I look like him.
Yeah, you really could play him.
I'm the Italian version of him.
Yeah.
So listen up, Hollywood. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I'll play Freddie Mercury
I know they were looking for somebody. Who was the first person that was going to do it? And then they yanked the movie.
Borat, I believe.
Oh, yeah, Borat was going to do it.
Nice. He can't sing.
Nice, right?
How's he sound, Chris?
Nice. Right? I love that impression.
But Freddie Mercury did a lot of falsetto. Somebody. So it's like, all right, done.
Who's singing for him now? It's the kid that did American
Adam
Idol.
Lambert, who I saw at a gay bar the other night, and I literally was going to go up and talk to him just because I wanted to say, like, I was like, my Aunt Cindy's obsessed with you, because she is. For some reason, she loves Adam Lambert. And like this, he was in a black trench coat with all his friends, acting very cool, and I was like, literally approaching him, and he like sped away. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. I felt like such a loser that Adam Lambert like dissed me. He's a good singer, but if you're listening, Adam Lambert,
you hurt people.
My Aunt Cindy loves you.
Yeah. I had him in with the guys from Queen when they were doing the tour, and the Queen audience was happy enough that he was doing it. I thought that they would be furious that somebody would come back and do Freddie, but they were like, no, this is great.
Well, when you sing as well as Adam Lambert, I think it's fair. I think he's also gay. I don't know. It makes sense.
By the way, Freddie was a guy who never said he was gay right up to the last second.
Isn't that funny? Yeah. I mean, but even though he was singing with like that Spanish opera singer, and like, he was great though in interviews because he said something with someone, he was drinking a beer, and he's all pissed off that he had to be interviewed, which is like very cool rock star.
Yeah.
And they were talking about heaven and hell. He's like, I'd much rather go to hell. It seems I'd be all more interesting people. Everyone who says they want to go to heaven seems rather boring to me. So I don't know if this is the accent he has, but it is. I don't know, all my accents slowly turn into like Laura Bush or Julie Sugarbaker. I mean, they just change. But he had a good perspective on life until he went.
Well, I think, wasn't he was like English, but he was like Indian descent. You know what I mean? He had come over.
Is he Armenian? What is this?
Yeah.
Is that it? Armenian?
I think that's what he is. I'm almost positive he is.
You know, I'm Sharon. I'm also Armenian. And my daughter's a man. Sonny, you left us, you son of a bitch. We should just read Cher tweets. She's dyslexic and does all her own tweets. She's great. I love Cher so much.
She's got to be the longing, lasting star. Like, she's still a star. I mean, that's like 65 that, you know, she became a star. And I don't think she's ever dropped off the radar.
One time I did an infomercial and people didn't like it. But then I did Moonstruck.
He was born in Zanzibar. His parents were British Indians.
British Indians?
British Indians.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Where exactly is Zanzibar?
It's gotta be mixed,
I'm
right?
looking that up.
Freddie Mercury was hot. I'm gonna wear a tank top on stage. Actually, I dress like Freddie Mercury right now.
All you have to do is
walk into your closet and then
he was the last guy just to wear an unironic mustache. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was the last dude with the big mustache.
I feel mine's pretty unironic. I've been wearing it since I was 15, and I'm 30 now.
But you're rocking a little bit of beard with it.
Oh, it's because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Zanzibar is an island off the southeast of Africa.
Thank you, Chris.
So is he
That's
not
where it is.
white?
What
would you like to know
consider
more?
him?
I would consider him Indian. British Indian.
So he's on the other side of Africa.
Yeah.
Like the Indian Ocean side of Africa.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
I did a song called Soft Paint and Hard Feathers. People thought I was Indian half-breed. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
my
good.
Share is not nearly as good as my Liza. But
Well, you do a better Liza than Liza
I
does
do,
now.
well, because she's sound asleep. But yeah, I do it. But I always make it about her sister. Every time you ask me any question, it goes back to her sister and how she hates her.
Well, you two were raised together or apart?
Well, remember, I woke up on Christmas morning, and my father, Mr. Manelli, who was a director, and really funny, and put snow in MGM Studios, and I was playing in the snow, and then I said, "This isn't snow. This is Lorna. I hate my sister."
Now, what age did you kind of fall for the divas? Were you a little kid?
Yeah,
and you
Barbra
loved it?
Streisand.
Streisand first.
Streisand, yeah. Because I remember this is going to sound so dumb. Do you know what synesthesia is?
Yes.
I have synesthesia. So I have like music, that color with music and letters and numbers.
Yeah.
And I remember coming home from preschool, my mom, we had an old record player, like the old, and I used to love the Funny Girl album. And I remember loving the Orange song, which is Don't Rain on My Parade.
That's
so I would
amazing.
beg my mom to play the Orange song. And it was that song. So that was, the first was probably Streisand, and then moved slowly to Mariah when I was like 14.
You know who else has heavy synesthesia is Fez Whatley. Fez was...
Oh,
a
really?
guy that- yes. And that's how I first found out about it.
What kind does he have? Like colors
His
with
was
number?
Colors and numbers.
Yeah.
And it was very... And then he gives every person he meets a number.
Oh, that's
in his
interesting.
head. So, but he doesn't know why he does it. It's not based on, personality.
Well, if I
or
read your
age.
name, it's red.
It's red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what about Gail's?
Like a dark brown.
Okay.
Because a G is like, A is yellow.
Yeah.
And then B is darker. That's not a brown, but it's like darker. It's whatever the background world is living in.
Right.
This makes no sense to people who are listening to it. E is the only green I see.
Mm-hmm.
And then R is bright red. O is white. P is orange. And then if I like the same thing with numbers too, because like my 1 is white, but not as white as 0, and 2 is red, 3 is green, and then all my 3s are green. So like 34 is greenish yellow because 4 is yellow. So all, like my 20s and 40s are the brightest, except for like 100.
So it's very... But this is to you just as normal as anything else.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's fascinating.
I think it helped me learn language because I hear language like when I was learning the Romance language, like Italian and stuff. When I hear French, I see the same colors in the sentence that I hear when I hear Italian. So I know what they're saying as opposed to like the actual words. So that's how I pieced together Spanish and French.
Now, have you ever talked to anybody who studies that, or you just write about it and go, "Oh, that's me"?
I did. I was 18, and that's the first time I ever. I've only met one other person who had it, and she's now, or he's transitioned, so he's he, and he and I had very similar ways of approaching art. We were both musically inclined. We were both interested in the same things. Like our brains sort of work the same way, kind of. But I've only met one other person. I did a study called the battery test or something for people who have synesthesia. And I filled out like letters and numbers and I got a 99%.
Wow. Yeah, Fez always had it. We always tried to figure out what or how or whatever, but we never did figure out why he registers things the way he does.
And it's strange because yours is so different than his.
Yeah.
Like he I think has a number and a color for a name, but it's not necessarily like yours are specific to the letters, and then those letters come together and make a color for you for the person. Whereas I think he just is like, you are this.
But he colors numbers.
He does color numbers.
Yeah, and then he gives out numbers to people, but they have nothing to do with the colors. And then when you go, well, you mean like the building? He's like, what? You know what I mean? Like he just has his own thing. He doesn't debate it or figure it out. It's just a way of thinking.
They said that it's with your brain development. I hope this is interesting for people listening, because I should be coming with the bells and stuff. But what happens is your senses are sort of, you think of them like separate. What happens is in brain development, like when you're in your mother's womb, they cross. So you have these unprovoked like associations with things. And some people have it where it's like you taste shape, or like the sound of a word gives you a taste, you know, stuff like that. People have personalities with numbers, shapes, and different. Some people are like really intense. Like mine's pretty intense, but like some people have like the number 4 is like, he's mean and he's soft and he's this and it's a man, and then like 6 is a woman. Like I don't go that far.
Yeah,
Mine
some
is just
colors
a color.
will hurt them or whatever.
Right.
You know, or they'll hear something and it's like disgusting taste in their mouth.
But I think I'm trying to think, like, I don't know a life without it, so I'm trying to think where maybe it came in handy, and I think it helped with music, hearing music. Like, I hear a note, I know what color it is, so I know the note. Like, I know how high it can go if I hear a song. Like, it helped me with music, and it determines the kind of music I listen to, because I like to, like, I don't like a lot of hip-hop or, like, electronic music, because, like, those beats, like, create, like, I get, like, anxiety with how I'm, yeah. So I tend to go for, like, literally like an Ella Fitzgerald, you know what I mean? Like something that will soothe me visually. And then also with painting, with my color theory classes, I never had issue with color. Everything with color, it's been my whole life. So I've never had a problem with color.
Fez, zero music, doesn't like even music at all. So like, you try to figure out how these things are connected, but it's beyond.
I think it's just weird brains.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were first Diva too, Gail. You loved Streisand.
Yeah. And specifically Funny Girl.
Oh, it's the
like,
best.
I can remember the first moment I saw her, and it was like, for some reason, it was playing on an Easter morning, and I was watching it, and like that movie, it was like before and after. I just like was obsessed with her.
I don't know why she like.
I'm probably Bette Midler after her, but she was like my first like.
I love Bette Midler.
Yeah,
it's so funny. Like Evan, you know, like a lot of straight men don't realize how good of a singer. Like she's up there with Whitney Houston. They wouldn't assume, because I think they're used to the Streisand today of like, "Hello, my chickens lay green eggs." You know, she's
so funny.
She's being interviewed. I love how she pretends that she doesn't know things. Like she was doing a duet with Hugh Jackman, which I love. We're supposed to pretend it's straight and has a pretty wife. So she was doing this interview with someone, and they were like, so you know, Hugh Jackman. She goes, by the way, he's been in 7 Wolverine movies, and she goes, I know he's been in those wolf movies. I'm like, no, Barbara, you know what he's done. There's been 7 of them. Wikipedia, for God's sakes.
claw hand.
But she does have that sort of like, my chickens like green eggs. You know, I was too poor for a doll, so my mother gave me a water bottle. Sort of felt like a baby. You know, she's so.
I love how you love these people and you're always hard on them.
Always.
You're never easy on them.
I know, but I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah.
It's like I love Madonna. I love Mariah. I'm really disappointed in Mariah. Every time I come in here, it gets worse and worse.
Right.
I think she's always filmed in that Snapchat filter. Like she always looks like she's just in a bucket of Crisco. Like it's just blurry. Everything looks like an alien, like an abduction. Like too bright and blurry, and you're not sure what's going on. You know, I don't know. I just I think it's because I think I held them to such a high pedestal, and then when you start to see them devolve into weird ways, like Patti LaBelle is evolving.
Yeah.
You know, she's standing in her own skin. She's comfortable. She knows herself. She can still sing. She's continuing to grow with her music. But like Madonna, it's like, I guess because, you know, she started with the sex first.
Yeah.
Even though she is an artist, she's smart, she's a woman, but it was all about sex and pushing those boundaries artistically with sexual and erotica and stuff. And then when you become 60, you know, you can't play those cards anymore. You know, use the other cards you have. Evolve with music, evolve with your writing, but it's like, you know, the surgery and the you know, I wear my daughter's jeggings. You know, it's like, all right already, you know, it's like, come on, Madonna. You know, are you British? Are you American? You know, your face is puffy. Like, I don't know. And I don't want to go after these women. it's just a weird thing. It's a weird move that some of my favorite people are making, which it makes me unhappy because I feel like she could have done, you know, and Mariah's heading in that direction. She refuses to acknowledge that she's a mother of 2, 47, 3 divorces, and you know.
I met some people outside of the stand, and they said that they know the pilot for Mariah, the private plane, and that she flies naked, and she has her people lay rose petals down for her, and they swear that when she flies, she loves to fly naked. And
Can we fly her to Betty Ford?
Matteo Lane's in studio. Matteo will be performing at the Draft House in Washington, D.C. Thursday, March 30th through Saturday, April 1st. Go to drafthousecomedy.com for tickets. And for all of Matteo's dates, go to MatteoLaneComedy.com. And on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Matteo Lane.
Yeah, I'm naked on Instagram if you want to follow me.
By the way, you know, we always talk about your singing when you come in, and you're so funny on the air. Your stand-up is getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
Thanks.
You're really, really doing really funny stuff.
Thanks. I'm really, really, really happy with my material right now.
Yeah.
I'm in a good place right now. I'm very happy. I've been having very good shows, really concentrating on my writing. I mean, you know, you do it multiple times a night, but I just, for some reason, this week specifically, I've been very happy, which is good. I go through like ups and downs, of, like where my writing, you know, because I never sit at home and write. I wait till something hits me. I make a note of it. I explore it on stage. I record it. I listen back. I hear it's funny. I keep that. If it's not funny, take that out and see what other jokes I can mix it with, and then put that together and then perform that the next night. And if then that's a success, I keep evolving it from there. That's how I write.
Which is really great, because when I see you, I don't think about any of those things. I'm like, oh, look at Matteo go. You know what I mean? Like, he's very smooth and funny on stage. One time we stayed up. I forget what the occasion was. I did come up.
We went up together.
Yeah, but what was, somebody had just died. Oh, it was Debbie
Reynolds and Carrie Fisher.
And you did a mashup together.
Yeah,
right?
we did a quick mashup because we just heard the news and we were talking off stage. I'm like, let's just take this right up, because I knew it would weird the audience out.
It did, and then they got, like, I think like 30 seconds, and then they got on board. But a lot of people like immediately got out their phones and started checking and this and that, because we were sitting like across from each other, and I looked up and I was like, Debbie Reynolds just died.
Yeah.
It was like a day after Carrie died.
Literally a day after.
So sad.
And that was so amazing, because if you read any of Carrie Fisher's stuff or saw the movie that she had done on her writings, her mom was always overshadowing her. Like, no matter what she did, like, even when she'd be around her friends, her mom would come in and do an old show to him, and the place would go crazy, and Carrie would just be sitting. She never got out of her mom's shadow. So I thought that Carrie would have done easily another hour show on her mom dying after her.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was hilarious.
I know. My friend Pat said he texted me immediately and was like, of course, Debbie Reynolds overshadowed her daughter's death. But in the long run, if you think about it, I mean, Carrie Fisher is a mega Star Wars that will live on forever. Fan fiction, books, and action figures, and fucking toothpaste, and you know what I mean? It's like forever. And I'm sure, did she film all of her scenes for the second film already?
I think she did, yeah.
Yeah, there's some of them in, or I don't know. I don't, but then I think it was supposed to be a trilogy, right?
Yes.
So they don't know what to do with the next one.
So I think they're just going to literally CGI someone's face onto another woman.
Did you see the thing that came right out after that, where it was like a documentary that they did on those two?
I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't see it.
It was just goes. Debbie was so old Hollywood that it was phenomenal, and then Carrie was very much of the rehab Hollywood, the Hollywood that we kind of grew up with, you know. Which these are like two different things to obsess upon, you know, for people.
Yeah. And she was so phenomenally funny. I thought
Carrie was so funny.
Yeah, great writer.
Yeah.
Great writer.
Have you ever had Fran Lebowitz on this show?
Have.
I am obsessed with her. Is she ever going to come back on?
I don't know, but I'll let you know.
If so, can I just sit that day? I'll be like an intern.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like just sit. Because has everyone seen her documentary that Martin Scorsese made?
It's
public speaking.
A bike is a toy. Okay. I don't have a bike. I'm not a child. Okay.
She said the best thing about tourists in New York, where she was talking. She was like, you think you're going to bring 30 million people into a city and not have it affected? Look at Times Square. New Yorkers, we don't need anything in that. In Times Square, we need a butcher shop, a bookstore. That's what we need. You know, you run into someone in Times Square, you suddenly start making up reasons why you're there, like you're at a gay bar in the 70s. I'm not really here. This is just for a study. Like, you know.
I've been a fan of hers since forever. She used to write for Interview magazine. I think it was called something like I Cover the Waterfront, and it was just so funny. She's got a couple of books that are just amazing. And then she stopped writing them, but she makes a lot of money speaking.
Right.
They don't call it stand-up, but it's as funny as anybody out there.
It's funnier than everybody out there. I mean, she's smart. Right? That's the first thing. And then second, she doesn't give a shit what you think of her.
Yeah.
And then third, she's unbelievably creative. I mean, she has bits, you know what I mean? She really has bits that she works out on stage.
She came in like, at no point do you not think, I got to be on my toes the whole time she's talking. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to come off as a dummy. And then, so we're done. We wrap it up. I thank her. And Gail wasn't working here then, but she came in just for it. And I introduced her. And I go, this is my daughter. And she goes, thank God, I thought you were going to tell me it was your wife. And seriously, for 3 days, I laughed about that. And she still looked at me with disgust as if I did say it. But she had thought in her mind, this motherfucker, you know? It was so funny.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's a lesbian, right?
Yes.
Because I've heard her say it once or twice. But I don't know if she's not, I mean, you know, she's wearing like a man's 7-piece suit. But,
you know who's also great is her best friend is Lisa Robinson. And Lisa, go back and read her books. She was like the first writer about rock music that was a woman. It was always guys before. So it's always like Jagger and Bowie and the real heroin chic 70s. And they were two friends. And I saw an old interview where they were at Studio 54 and Fran Lebowitz was so fucking hot.
Yeah,
right?
she was a cool...
So fucking hot.
Yeah. She was cool, like
very cool. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like smoking, doesn't give a shit, wearing men's clothes.
And she always had that great style too. Like her young with like these like open white button down with like the tight jeans. She has
a uniform.
Yeah.
But men have always dug her and like really cool. Like Keith Richards loves her, hangs out with her, fucking got her drumming lessons from Steve Jordan. I mean, like just everybody that you could think of that's great thinks she's great.
Yeah.
You know, thinks she's the real shit.
Yeah. So I love that when you see people like just in flat out uniforms, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a very, you know, I look like Luigi from Nintendo. I mean, that's my uniform. My uniform is always a white shirt, tight pants, and a mustache. That's what I wear. And I'm sticking with it, you know? I hate dressing up. I hate wearing suits. I hate all of it.
But you actually wear your pants tight around your calves. Like you can see veins in his calves when he's on stage. And I'm always like, can he breathe in that?
No, not well.
But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, there are times I get on stage and I realize I'm the only gay person in that room on that show. You know what I mean? They've been there for like an hour, and then I have to address it. I'm like, by the way, if you're wondering, yes, I'm gay. Anyways, as I was saying, you know, because people just stare at you.
Sometimes, like, he'll hop on stage and the audience will laugh and he goes, oh, yeah, gay.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just so effective, so fast.
Because I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but then I realize I'm talking about, like, being wildly desperate and single, and I'm like, well, yeah, obviously I have to attach a man on to the end of this story. So, yeah, I keep trying to trap this hot Dominican man who it's never going to work out.
Is it, you got a perfect guy in your mind?
Yeah, I'm looking for a hot man that hates me.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for.
Doesn't hang around too much.
Yeah, we have great sex, and then that's it.
You know, Jen and I think we found the perfect guy that was abusing that woman downstairs. We were watching this Latin guy. Come on up and grab. We're watching him, and he's like abusing his fat girlfriend, right? Like first he's like pushing her face and making her cry, and then he's trying to kiss. Now we go like this. I'm gonna knock this fucking guy out, and I gotta figure. I was in my mind. I was gonna walk over and say, "Hey, this is my fucking chair." It's because I didn't want him to blame it on her, you know?
Right.
And then she starts playing back to him, and I couldn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's that little crazy thing that abusive couples do.
Right.
But he was driving me nuts.
I'm so glad I was not with.
If you weren't, if you were there, it would have fucking blown up because you're very quick to break in.
I have like 0 to 60 anger, and
that's like
it's
Lisa.
like, and I'm like also strike one. Like I have always been strike one and you're out. I don't know why it is that way.
That's good,
and it shocks people because I think that I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm short, or maybe like I don't know. Like I smile or I laugh a lot. Like maybe there's something that like people think that I'm just like, oh, she's just like a sweet little thing. But I go 0 to 60.
Your grandmother's the same way.
Yeah.
Lisa, I was sitting at a restaurant one time with Lisa Traeger. Do you know Lisa Traeger?
Yeah.
And it was her, me, Evan Williams, and his wife, right? And I'm sitting there eating, and there's a table right behind us. It's 4 girls and a guy. And they're arguing politics. And so these girls keep trying to talk, and every time they try and talk, this guy shuts them up. He goes, no, blah, 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 keeps yelling. He's like, the Red Veselka, like he's yelling, like it's not a place to go yell. And Lisa immediately stops, like a deer, like her ears perk up, her head turns, and then I know exactly what's happening, so I don't move a muscle. I just keep eating, and Evan's like, what's going on, man? Lisa, what are you gonna do, man? And Lisa's like, hold on a second. And so she just waited. The next time this guy cut these girls off, he goes, and she turns around, just like a total stranger goes, why don't you shut the fuck up and let these women speak, you son of a bitch? And she turns back around, she keeps eating, and I did not even look up, and Evan's going, oh my God, like he couldn't believe what's going on.
Matteo Lane's in studio. Matteo will be performing at the Draft House in Washington, D.C. Thursday,
Please
March 30th.
come.
Through Saturday, April 1st. Go to drafthousecomedy.com for tickets, and go to MatteoLaneComedy.com for all his additional dates, and on Twitter and Instagram at Matteo Lane.
I'm doing a jazz show, by the way, on the end of March. I want to come back with my pianist and like do songs for you or something.
Let's do it.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm recreating. You would love this.
Yeah.
This is the gayest, faggotiest thing ever on the Facebook. I'm recreating Barbra Streisand's Bonsoir show before she was famous in the Village. Not like dressing up like her, but in the same vein, I'm doing all the music she did with just a pianist, small jazz club in the East Village at Pangea is what it's called, and it's March 24th, and I'm gonna do it so it's like just keep it a weird loose jazz show that's like half stand up and like real jazz music.
Are we here on March 24th, or is that when we're in D.C.?
Checking.
Because we'll do it before then to push some tickets.
We're gonna be in D.C.
I'm going to go to that goddamn show.
Well, I get back the 22nd because are you guys there? Maybe I can come in that week.
Yeah, we'll definitely work it out.
Okay.
Maybe we can go in the other studio and then we record in there.
Yeah.
So very professional, and you'll have something to take out of here with you.
All right, I'll email with Chris and figure it out. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
Rufus Wainwright did Judy Garland's Carnegie Hall thing at Carnegie Hall, and I'm like, oh, I'll get tickets for this. That's how fucking fast they went.
Wow.
People went crazy to get tickets, and everybody who went thought it was just amazing.
Judy, so gay. I love Judy Garland. That's every note. She doesn't say show, S-H-O-W. She says shy, S-H-A-U-E-X. That's how she says show.
But you loved her when she started to get whacked, right? Like,
yeah, the 1950s.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's always the thing when people say, I love Judy Garland, they're never talking about young Judy Garland.
No, and young Judy Garland's great, but like 1950s is when she started going, a cuckoo. So I was all into that. Yeah. I was into the cuckoo Judy.
Yeah. The same way I'm into cuckoo Liza. And my mother was a real cunt.
But, so it's but Judy could sing till she died. Liza's lost it.
Yeah. Well, Judy also, I think she was one of the first people who invented speed. Like she was like, had a problem when people were like, why does she like those pep pills so much? They just didn't understand how bad it could go. And then when Liza talks, it was always like they either had a lot of money or no money, and they would sneak out of hotels without paying the bills and all that kind of shit.
And she would try and make it sound. That's the problem with Liza. She tries to make it sound like it was fun.
We were really laughing because Mama would have us jumping out of hotels and sneaking out. We made a game of it.
And I was like, no, it wasn't funny, Liza. It was scary and bad. And your mother was uncomfortably unwell. Like,
she was funny. People didn't know her that well, but she was really, really funny. And I'd say, Mama, these kids at school are saying all these things about you. And she'd say, that's for my public to know, Liza. But at home, I'm funny.
And I'm sure the real story, she came home and her mom was just passed out, like broken glass,
laying in her own puke.
But I still love her. You know what I mean? Oh, God. Poor Whitney Houston.
They all seem to go out the same way, right?
I know. Mariah's on her way.
Yeah. Like if we found out, like, Mariah was face down in the bathtub or something, we'd go, yeah, we kind of saw that.
Well, her brother came out and said he would not be surprised if she ended up like Whitney Houston in the headlines. Her brother, who was like a normal meat and potatoes kind of guy. He like owns his own gym. He works out. He's never been in the press. Nothing. I mean, her sisters used her for the press. Her sister was as a prostitute. She's HIV positive, and she's constantly in and out of the hospital and jail, and making headlines saying Mariah is not paying me and this and that. But her brother was totally normal. But he said, he's like, yeah, my sister will end up like Whitney Houston.
That Tommy Mottola thing that started her career, that he was so much older. And I had heard the name Tommy Mottola my whole radio career, like he was a gangster, Like people are like, could you play this record? Tommy Mottola wants it played. Or you got to fucking help me out here. Tommy Mottola needs to stunt. And then I met him.
Che lui vuole che noi suoniamo questa canzone.
And I met him, and he's a very sensitive kind of guy. Like if you would think, oh, you know how like some Italians are like more sensitive. I never picked up the vibe at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and even the name, if you don't have a
Tommy
face,
Mottola's,
that's like, oh, Jesus, Tommy Mottola's coming? Yikes. I'm going to get out of here.
Do this for me?
Did a great, I mean, listen, I'm not saying his relationship with Mariah was a good one, but when they were together, she sounded her best. She looked her best. Everything was done. I mean, there's certain people who need, I'm not saying I want her in a relationship with an abusive man, but outside of that, I'm saying career-wise. I'm not saying marriage-wise. They together had a schedule that worked, and then the second she broke from him, which was 97, if you listen to her voice from 96 to 97, huge difference. Right. It just fell big.
Because Tommy was like a clothing designer. Like everything had to be perfect in that world. And I guess he was using her like as like a little doll to move around this idea that he had.
And I understand her repelling. Yeah. I get that. She was like 26. She was like, why am I married to this old fart? Like, I want to go
He's moved me
have
upstate.
fun. Right. Yeah. I live in a tower. Like, she literally turned into Rapunzel at one point. And then she did Divas Live, and it was just like, she looked amazing, and she was wearing like scarves that were just, dresses. I mean, she looked great.
What's your favorite of all of her songs?
Probably Bob the Drag Queen just yelled at me because he asked me, and I said a song, and he's like, that's the B side of the album. No one likes you people. Of her like popular songs, I probably would have to say Emotions.
What about you, Gail?
It's like the very early one in the video. She's like dancing in the field of like daisies.
Dream lover, come rescue me.
Yeah, that's it.
Mine is that Vision of Love thing, which I think is as good as pop music.
Number one song. That was her first song.
Yeah.
1990, 1991. And then she, you should look up her singing it on Good Morning America 1991. Just like cut halfway through. Because you don't want to, or the beginning is amazing, actually. Play from the beginning. Because you forget what she sounded like. It was like, she also looked beautiful. She was this beautiful mixed girl with this gorgeous hair. And, now she's got the nose job, the boob job, the blonde hair.
When she came out, I'm like, this is like a 1940s star. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, this is like, it. Yeah. Just listen to the first few notes. It's amazing. Just the first 30 seconds.
Here's Mariah Carey.
Treated me kind, sweet destiny carried me through desperation to the one that was waiting for me. It took so long, still I believe somehow the one that I needed will find me eventually.
She's so pretty.
All that you've given to me.
And then she starts belting. Oh, she's so good.
Pray through the nights, felt so alone, suffered from alienation.
I remember when she came out, everyone compared her to Whitney Houston, and now listening to her, she doesn't sound like Whitney Houston.
Had to be strong, so I believed, and now I know I've succeeded.
For those listening at home, she's got 3 gay men behind her with some of the best wigs in Hollywood.
And every gay man in the country woke up for this.
Oh, yeah.
Set alarms.
I sing this all the time at karaoke.
Look at how effortless it is for her too. Like she's crushing it, but like you can tell from her body language, she's not pushing.
Yeah.
She's just like,
oh yeah. And
she's in a suit.
Yeah.
She's not pouring out of a fucking like mermaid dress.
We've got to do some kind of pop critics show for TV with you, where you just sit there and blast away.
Please, yes. Watch me live tweet the Oscars.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. Sorry, Ariana.
I'll be eternally grateful. Holding you so close to me. Through the night. Right through the night. So faithfully.
She sounds like a huge gospel singer.
Yeah. The one that I need will find me eventually.
And the album, she goes,
yeah.
And it was that you turned out to be.
Wow, I never saw this. This is great.
She had 4.5 octaves in that 3 minutes.
It's unbelievable.
it's like chills.
I know.
Like, that was really wild.
Mariah, come back. Please come back. If she fired everyone, got off these pills, studied the voice for a full year and really got herself healthy again mentally, she could sound like that again.
I think what would have been is if she would have walked out of Good Morning America and been hit by a bus. We would have spent all of our lives. She would have been so amazing.
She would have been the Selena of them. Yeah.
Dude, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you here.
Matteo Lane's been in studio. Matteo will be hosting his jazz show Friday, March 24th at Pangea in New York City, and he'll be performing at the Draft House in Washington, D.C. Thursday, March 30th through Saturday, April 1st. Go to drafthousecomedy.com for tickets. For all of Matteo's dates, go to MatteoLaneComedy.com, and on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Matteo Lane.
See his stand-up. He's so damn funny.
Oh, thank
and
you.
The audience goes crazy for him. You take those guys on a ride. Always love seeing you.
Oh, thanks.
All right. And we got to have him back. Maybe
For the jazz show?
No, we'll have you back for that, but we'll bring Lisa and we'll do our other perfect song show that we're doing for the Volume channel where we just talk music. And
yeah, for Lisa and I, we could talk all about late 90s music.
Let's do it. We'll do a late 90s show.
NSYNC, Britney, Christina.
All right. See you guys all again in 1974.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!